Football rivalry that dates back over 100 years. The Fighting Irish have dominated the series, especially here at home. Purdue hasn't won at Notre Dame in 24 years, but the Boilermakers are confident, fresh from a victory over the Irish at Purdue just a year ago. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Notre Dame. Dick Enberg with Pat Hayden. And Pat, anxious to see Joe Tiller's offensive scheme. He calls it basketball on grass. One back spread offense, and they are exciting.
Well, you know, the people of the Hoosier State really appreciate the basketball simile, but, you know, they really do spread you out. 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, 5 wide receivers, a lot of quick passes, make you defend the whole 53 yards and 120 yards when you consider the end zones. But leading the charge is Drew Brees, the sophomore quarterback out of Austin, Texas, who has gotten better and better as this season has gone along, as you see here. Now, he's going to throw a lot of quick passes. Last year, they completed 26 passes against the Irish. 14 of those were behind the line of scrimmage.
And their strength fits what is an apparent Notre Dame weakness early in the season. The Irish defense has been very generous.
Yeah, they have not rushed the passer well. They have not defended the pass well, and you really worry about that when you face Purdue. You see the numbers. Average yards allowed per play really is abominable, but the Irish are going to make some adjustments. Remember, first of all, they had 2 weeks to prepare for this ball game. Secondly, they're going to open this game in a nickel, and they're going to use Corey Minor, ordinarily a drop linebacker, as a rush guy, and they want to tip some passes and get some interceptions.
Try to put some pressure on Scott Brees, and offensively, the Irish figure they're bigger offensively that they're going to run the football.
You know, Purdue has a system. They know what they want to do. Notre Dame is still trying to find their system, but while they're trying to figure that out, they're going to give the ball to Autry Denson, and they really should. He had a remarkable game against Michigan when they gave the ball to him 24 times for some big yardage. Only 15 carries against Michigan State. If they're going to win this game, he's going to have to carry it a lot.
And it could be a milestone game for the senior Denson. 107 yards. He becomes the number 2 rusher all time in Notre Dame history, and he's done well against Purdue. He scored 5 career touchdowns. We're ready for the kickoff in South Bend.
1, 2, 3.
Well, fans here at Notre Dame excited about that opening game win over Michigan, 36-20, and then 2 weeks ago to Michigan State, and a disaster, Pat.
Yeah, Dick, you know, you like to think you can win the game in all 3 phases, special teams, offense, and defense, but they did. They failed in all 3. Offense, they had an interception return for a touchdown. Jarius Jackson had -4 yards rushing. The defense allowed the 3 touchdowns. The special teams allowed the punt to be blocked and return for a touchdown. 8 penalties for 78 yards. There's the reason for concern. And Notre Dame has as many question marks now, be it for their 3rd game, as they did in August.
Yeah, 43-year-old Bob Davie has had the advantage of an extra week of preparation time. 1 week to forget about Michigan State, and 2 weeks to get ready for Joe Tiller's exciting of age. He's well known out in the West at Wyoming, where he had several great seasons. He grew up in Toledo, Ohio. He wanted to play for Woody Hayes at Ohio State, he said, but the lack of talent sent him elsewhere. He went up and earned his degree at Montana State in 1965. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. Well, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have gotten off to some real slow starts. They've been outscored by their opponents 55-9 in the first half. Only 3 field goals. Purdue, on the other hand, 4 points per game in that first half. Now, I spoke to Bob Davie about it. He's concerned about his team's slow start. He wants them to concentrate and be much more in focus at the beginning of the game. As for Joe Tiller, the Purdue coach, he told me he wants to jump on the Irish. If they don't, he says, and we allow them to hang around like Michigan allowed Notre Dame, we could suffer the same fate. Dick?
All right, Jim, ready to go. Notre Dame will kick it off. That's Hunter Smith, the punter and kickoff specialist. Deep to return for the Boilermakers in the white uniforms are Cliff Jackson and Randall Lane, 2 of Tiller's wide receivers. And we're going to see a lot of men for Purdue catching the ball today. They spread it around. They have a lot of talented players at the receiver position. And we'll see as many as, 5 receivers?
Absolutely. And, Dick, you know, we also know that Purdue is a very good starting opening drive team.
Set to go with the wind at his back and already blowing the ball off the tee is Hunter Smith. It's gusting 15-20, certainly to the advantage of the team moving right to left on this very humid, hot September afternoon. One of the hottest, if not the hottest in temperature ever for a Notre Dame home game.
Go over again a second time. We talked about Purdue being a quick start team. In their 3 previous games, they have scored touchdowns in 2 of those games on the opening drive because teams have a very difficult time adjusting quickly to this quick strike offense.
Ty Good, the cornerback, will hold the ball now for Hunter Smith. As Jim Teat says, 2 tries and out. Let's get this thing started. Lane and Jackson waiting patiently at the Purdue goal line. 2-1 Purdue. The Irish are 1-1. This a game that could well define the rest of this season. Very big for both teams. Short, end over end. Bounces beyond the wedge. Picked up by Lane, and he's hit immediately by Dee Cooper.
The ball should not have hit the ground.
Purdue starts at the 20-yard line as sophomore Drew Brees brings the Boilermakers onto the field. Young man from Austin, Texas will be protected by this offensive line. Matt Light is not. He's nearly 290. Cohen, Okobe, Starnes, and Goran. And there'll be 3, 4, and even 5 wide receivers for Brees. 1 running back, J. Crabtree, Isaac Jones, Gabe Cox, Randall Lane start at wide receiver. Tight end is Chris Randolph, a redshirt freshman. From the Boilermaker 20. And a handoff to Crabtree. And he's to the 25-yard line where Bobby Howard and company meet him for the Irish. Notre Dame defensively lines up this way with Corey Minor, Grant Irons are playing on the wings. They'll try to pressure the passer Brees, Weaver, and Legree inside. Linebackers, Anthony Denman gets the start. He can cover well and can rush. Bobby Howard's the tackler. 5 defensive backs start for Bob Davie.
That's Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator of Notre Dame, who clearly has his headsets full today.
2nd down and 5. First pass for Brees, complete and wide open was Jackson on the far side, and he has a first down at the Purdue 37. Cliff Jackson, 6th catch of the year, junior from Chico, California, and Butte, California Junior College.
Dick, Purdue has some specific offensive goals as they start this ball game. They want to complete 60% or more of their passes. That's what they did early in this year. You see the completion percentage. They handle whatever defense Notre Dame plays because they expect change-ups, and they want to balanced attack. You think of them as a passing attack, but they want to run over 50% of the time.
Single back, 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. On the option, Brees hits it and is swallowed up after a gain of a yard as Corey Minor played it very well from that left-hand position.
That's an amazing thing to me about Drew Brees. I mean, he is a sophisticated passer, but they use him. Joe Tiller uses him a lot in the running game. I mean, he'll run quarterback draws, he'll run option plays, and if you're Notre Dame's defense, you have to hit him and punish him when he's making those kind of plays.
They give him 2 yards to the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 8 Purdue. Just underway on this warm, humid afternoon in South Bend. Now 3 wide receivers left, and it's from this formation that Purdue made some big plays a year ago in their victory at Ross-Ade Stadium in West Lafayette. Play action fake. Brees throws to his senior Isaac Jones, and Jones all the way into Notre Dame territory to the Irish 41-yard line. His 18th catch of the year.
Notre Dame must tackle better. That time, Dee Cooper had a chance to hit Isaac Jones after the catch, and this offense forces you to be good. Watch up here in the screen. It forces you to be good tacklers after the catch. A missed tackle by Dee Cooper should have been a 5-yard gain. Instead, it was a longer gain for a first down.
20 yards on the play as Bob Davie understands that he's going to be isolating those defensive backs. Man coverage. And point well taken. If you don't tackle well, Purdue's going to have some big gainers.
Now nobody in the backfield now. This is where you like to blitz a quarterback.
3 receivers to the right. Brees, plenty of time, throws open and complete to Jones again. And a first down at Notre Dame's 20-yard line. Cooper made the tackle, and Isaac Jones now with 2 big gainers on this opening drive. That one for 21.
Yeah, the three wide receivers over to the right. You're going to see a lot of different formations. The slot man runs an out route, and I tell you what, it's so hard to adjust to this defense. We've talked about having 2 touchdowns and opening drives in the first 3 games. You cannot simulate the speed and precision in practice. It's really hard to adjust early in the ball game.
Now with Crabtree back in, Brees is 3 for 3 on this opening drive and 53 yards. Give to Crabtree. He's at the 15. He's down to the 11-yard line. And a good gain on first down, nearly 9 for a junior college transfer, Crabtree, from Coffeyville, Kansas Community College.
118 yards last week. Crabtree, J. Crabtree.
What is his first name?
Well, we're still trying to figure that out. I really appreciate it. You were like Mike Wallace interviewing him the other day, trying to get his real. It's J. Period. And then when you asked him, what was his response?
J. Period.
Yeah. And you see that they've been giving him the ball more, and he has responded. J. Period Crabtree has.
Hand off to Crabtree, and he is met in the backfield this time. And the Irish with a loss, led by Antoine Jones, 85, and Joe Ferrer, 41. They drop Crabtree for a loss of 2 back to the 13-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
And again, the quick passing, it's hard to sack this Purdue team. Drew Brees has only been sacked 3 times. You say, hey, passing team, we're going to get after the passer. Well, what Notre Dame wants to do is get those hands up and maybe get some tips and a couple of interceptions.
Crabtree wearing 34. His favorite player, Walter Payton, carried that number. He's from Wichita. Now Brees lost it. Intercepted in the end zone. And then taken away. What's going to be the call? Incomplete, out of bounds. The foot of Randall Lane, who took it away from the Notre Dame defender, Brock Williams, was out of bounds, and thus an incomplete pass is the call.
Well, they may call it an interception. And remember, Notre Dame has not had an interception this year. 0, zot, nada, none.
63 passes thrown in the first 2 games without a pick. Let's see, they're trying to straighten it out. As Brock Williams, who has forced a couple of fumbles this his sophomore season, he is their nickel back in this 5 defensive back set used by Bob Davie against the spread offense of Purdue. This is a real testy call. You see, he had it. How long did he really have the ball?
Defense touched the ball.
We'll take a look at it.
We have a touchdown.
That was a touchdown.
They were deliberate about it.
So, since the defense touched the ball, it's ruled that even though Lane was out of bounds, he can come back inbounds. And now he's inbounds. Oh, boy, that's close.
Well, that is the proper call if that is what they said. But I thought actually Brock Williams had possession of the ball and his feet down. It should have been an interception.
Well, he didn't seem to really have it tucked away. Let's take another. Well, we'll take another look as soon as we see the try for point. Travis Dorsch, the freshman from Bozeman, Montana, knocks it through, and Purdue on a controversial first drive ending. Let's see again. Lane, opportunistic at best, this junior from Chicago. Yeah, didn't really have control, and he just took it away from Brock Williams, and Purdue takes the early lead. Truly do take the early lead, 7-0. Back at Notre Dame, and Purdue impressively goes for the opening drive to a touchdown, 80 yards in 8 plays. Brees was 4 for 4, including that ball that appeared to be intercepted by Brock Williams, juggled, and Randall Lane stole it from the Irish defender for a touchdown, 13-yard play. Kickoff skids down. Out comes Tony Driver, and Driver knocked backwards as he hit the 25-yard line in the opening charge from the Purdue special teams.
Well, you know, Jim Gray heard some of the conversation. The conversation was Brock Williams didn't have possession. See, he's bouncing it, ball's bouncing around, never had full possession. Randall Lane's allowed to come back inbounds, and the strong hands of Randall Lane just takes it away from Brock Williams for the touchdown. So a heads-up play by Lane, who started slowly this year but has really come on the last couple of weeks.
It's his second touchdown. He's from Chicago, but migrated to the West and played his junior college ball the last 2 years out at Los Angeles Valley Junior College in the San Fernando Valley. So Jarius Jackson and the Irish start from the 23, down 7-0. And Lefty Denson, a big hole. And Denson on his first carry picks up 12. Willie Fells made the stop. Fells, number 40, the leading tackler for the Boilermakers.
Audrey Denson is a very good cutback runner. Get the ball to him as deep as you can in the backfield. Let him use his amazing vision and feel for those holes, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Purdue is an up-the-field rush the defense team, and they want to get the ball to him deep, let him cut back.
Only 62 yards at Michigan State last week after a career-high 162 in the opener against the Wolverines of Michigan. First down, 35. Jarius Jackson keeps it and has to eat it for a loss of a yard as he is stuffed at the 34. Willie Fells leading the charge along with Adrian Beasley from the secondary. As you look at the Notre Dame offensive line, Pettigrew, Wisney, Morandi, Ritter, and Rosenthal, huge front line. Jackson the quarterback. Denson, we've already heard from him. Spencer's the blocker. Brown and Johnson the wide receivers, and Jabari Holloway the tight end. Second down, 11. And Jackson to the shotgun. Jim Coletto, former Purdue coach, head coach, 6 years. His second year now as an assistant at Notre Dame. Quarterback draw, and Jackson earns about 3. It'll be third and a long 8 as Lee Johnson makes the stop, number 35 for Purdue. Boilermakers defensively, O'Keefer, Mitrione, a good-looking young tackle. Nugent and Colvin, he's their star defender. Roosevelt, Colvin, and captain. Lee Johnson, Willie Fells, John Reeves, the linebackers. Hawthorne's their best cover man. Austin, JC transfer at the other corner. Gustin and Beasley, the safeties. Third down, a long 8. Jackson's first pass. Going long, too long. Intended for Rakai Nelson. And that's the way he started all 3 games. His first pass has been too tall.
Overthrows. And again, one of the things they really want to do is get him off to a good, confident start. And if Notre Dame's going to have a successful year, they're going to need to have a 2-dimensional quarterback, not just a runner. He is wide open. Rakai Nelson is. He caught a wide open touchdown against Michigan, but those are the balls you must complete in college football.
In fairness to Jackson, perhaps didn't take into account that 20-mile-an-hour following wind. That ball really flew. Hunter Smith to punt. Ooh, partially blocked. Just as Michigan State blocked the punt early 2 weekends ago, and this one takes a good Notre Dame roll inside the Purdue 30-yard line. 35-yard punt, and the man who got a piece of it was defensive back Todd Stelma, number 37.
He was just granted a scholarship. Good punt rush by Purdue. Low snap. Stelma, one of those special team types of guys, nickel guys, all-out effort, gets a piece of it off the corner, number 37.
9:24 left in the opening quarter. The Boilermakers lead it 7-0. Seven 0 Purdue. Sophomore quarterback Drew Brees, part of a great tradition at quarterback at Purdue. Dawson, Greasy, men that have gone on to fame in the National Football League, even Super Bowl wins. Mike Phipps, Gary Danielson, and Mark Herman, Jim Everett as well. And as you look at that list for Purdue, you see how Brees will fit in his performance already as a sophomore. This young man from the heart of Texas. Not even considered by the University of Texas in his home city of Austin. Didn't get a phone call, he said. First down from the 30, and his throw is complete to the tight end, Tim Stratton, a redshirt freshman from Oak Brook, Illinois.
Talking to Joe Tiller about Drew Brees, and you say there's lots of things I like about him. He said his accuracy, the way he's calm. He says he's got real good feet. He's always set when he's ready to throw the ball. And he's got, you hear that intangible. Those are all tangible things. The intangible, he really has that feel for the game. Feels the rush, gets rid of the ball.
And that's tough to develop. You either do or don't have that quality.
Exactly right.
Second down, a long two. Crabtree comes in motion, then sets in the backfield. 3 wide receivers left, and it's Crabtree. Gets a block and a first down to the 41-yard line, almost the 42. Deke Cooper from the secondary to make the tackle. You look at that great list of quarterbacks, and Purdue has produced more NFL touchdowns from quarterbacks out of Purdue than any other school going into the National Football League. And Brees in his first 3 starts comparing very favorably to that illustrious list.
Yeah, that's a pretty good group, and a couple of actually 3 Super Bowl wins when you consider Greasy and Len Dawson, but it is a pretty good list, and he's gotten better and better each week.
First down, Boilermakers at their own 42. They lead 7-0. 8 minutes and change left. Opening quarter. Bad incomplete. And that's number 44, Grant Irons, the sophomore from Woodlands, Texas. And that's exactly what Bob Davie has cried for from the defense this past week. You have to tip some passes, get an interception.
You are not going to sack a quarterback that takes 3-step drives. A great job by Grant Irons. First of all, he has to fight off the cut block, which he did. You take the block on first, then you get all 6'5" of your hands up, and you tip some balls. Nearly an interception. Brees did a pretty good job of kind of knocking that ball away from Grant Irons.
So 2nd and 10 for the Boilers as Lane is to the right. Gabe Cox and Isaac Jones to the left. Brees changing his call at the line of scrimmage. The pass complete. Cox. And he's bumped out of bounds after another good game and a first down. No, they say now he stepped out at the Irish 49.
I think I saw
That'll be shy of a first down.
I think I saw a flag over in the bench area, though, Dick. Joe Taylor doesn't seem to be too concerned, does he?
Personal foul against Notre Dame, and that will give Purdue 15 more in the first down.
Up there, wait. Late hit, personal foul against the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
One of the redeeming things about this offense, Dick, is that it really forces your secondary to be good tacklers. We haven't seen good tackling thus far. Again, though, Ty Good took a chance there. He was trying to step in front of that. There was a late hit. It was out of bounds, clearly. But if you're going to take chances, you got to either make the play, knock it down, and maybe pick it off. Otherwise, stay back and drill the receiver after he catches it.
Johnny Sanders, the foot was off the field of play, and that ruled the personal foul. Crabtree fighting for a couple as he's to about the 33 before Harper and Howard can collaborate on the tackle. Purdue leading at 7-0. This is their second possession. We remind you NBC Sports extends its Notre Dame coverage to the internet at msnbcsports.com. You can check out special section rich with audio and video of the Irish news, player profiles, Pat Hayden's analysis as well. msnbcsports.com.
Be phayden.com and go public. Great valuations.
That's a good law firm. Jay Crabtree wants to be a lawyer, and P. Hayden. Second down and 8. Brees, pump fake, to Lane, incomplete, almost intercepted by Deke Cooper.
But Dick, you made an interesting point this week. You said Notre Dame defensive backs are in the area, but they don't respond to the ball well when it's in the air. Deke Cooper, good coverage, number 1, right here. But the ball's in the air. This one had a chance to be intercepted, but just doesn't adjust to the ball in the air very well. Right there, he didn't get his body turned. We saw that against Michigan State. They're in the good coverage, but they're not adjusting well.
Third down and 8 for Drew Brees and the Purdue Boilermakers. Cox and Randall Lane to the left. Jones and Jackson to the right. The tight end Stratton moves in tight, and the charge by Antoine Jones was he drawn offside.
Chucky Jacoby, the center, he's pointing at the center and thought he moved.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap on the center, 5-yard penalty.
Dick, they were in a shotgun formation, then he came up underneath the center, and I think Chucky Jacoby is ordinarily, he moved there, ordinarily a guard, getting the start at center this week. But he expected shotgun, and it was an audible, didn't quite adjust.
So 5 yards brings up third down 13 for Purdue. the shotgun Brees. Moves Stratton, the tight end, in tight on the right side. Triple left, single right. Looks left. Gets away from pressure. Fires complete to Randall Lane, the touchdown maker, and he has a first down at the Irish 17.
Boy, you gotta have to like this Drew Brees. Little guy, isn't he? I say that he's 6'1", he's 210 pounds, but he really avoids the rush just when you think you finally have got some pressure on him. You know, good pass rush, looking to his left. That feel, Dick, you know, we talked about the feel for the game, senses the people from behind him. Just knows when to get the shoulders turned. As he's running to his left, you see how he turned his shoulders as well? Right there. That's the way he can get some zip on the ball to Randall Lane.
Frustrating for 98 Anthony Weaver, the true freshman defensive end. He was bearing and boring in on Brees, but someone got a hold of his jersey and slowed him up. And to the 11-yard line goes Crabtree. And a gain of nearly 6.
So far, Brees is now 7 of 9, and he's hit 5 different receivers.
Here comes Vinny Sutherland, another receiver into the game for Purdue, and he's the man who had 8 catches and 100 yards a year ago in the Purdue win.
Look at all the different receivers they've used. There were 10 different ones in the SC game, 8 against Rice, 5 against Florida, 11 in all he's used. And again, you can't say, hey, we're going to double up on this guy and take him away. They do spread it around.
Single back, second down, 4. Sutherland complete at the 5. He's down to the 3. And another Purdue first down. First and goal for the Boilermakers.
One of the counterpoints of this game, Dick, is the chop blocks by the Purdue offensive line. You're going to see these guys chop block up here, while the Notre Dame defensive line tries to get their hand up. It's really hard to get your hands up when you're getting your knees cut out from underneath you.
Purdue leading 7-0. The ball spotted just inside the Notre Dame 3. First and goal. Sutherland with a catch. Relieved. Lane to the right. Brees rolls. Brees at the goal line. Touchdown. And a penalty flag goes down.
Flag is thrown.
2 possessions, 2 very impressive drives engineered by that young man, Drew Brees.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the score against Purdue. 15-yard penalty on the drive.
2 of those last week in their win against Central Florida.
Well, Joe Tiller didn't seem to mind too much about the celebrations going on in the end zone. I mean, Drew Brees is a calm in the pocket, but he's excited when he gets in the end zone, as you should be. Yeah. And like I said, Joe Tiller doesn't seem to mind when you get the ball in the end zone.
The 2-yard touchdown run by Drew Brees, who's done everything right in his first visit to Notre Dame. Now the try for point by the freshman Travis Dorsch. Young guy kicked a 63-yard field goal in high school in Montana a year ago. And he sends it high and long, and the Purdue Boilermakers, with 5:46 remaining in the opening quarter, jump out 14-0. Welcome back, Drew Brees. What a first quarter. And just as Jim Gray indicated, Purdue tough in the first half. Notre Dame has been weak, allowing too many points and scoring little themselves. And this has been part of the early season pattern for the Irish. 14-0. Backup quarterback Mike Seegert. They've elected not to kick deep to Notre Dame. Picked up at the 15 and out to the 29-yard line goes David Gibbons, a freshman from Humboldt, Texas, a wide receiver. And the Irish will take over there, tackled by Alex Tone. Goodyear blimps, Spirit of Akron, floating overhead. 3 Goodyear blimps in the U.S. represent one of America's most enduring corporate images. And in celebration of Goodyear's centennial, its blimp fleet has been doubled and has gone global. 1 flying in South America and 2 on the continent of Europe.
Well, this is not the kind of game Notre Dame is particularly adept at. It was down 14 points. This is not an explosive offensive team.
Trailing 14-0 early. Darius Jackson to Denson, and he's caught in the backfield and brought down for a loss. As charging through was Roosevelt. Colvin lightning quick off his stance. Colvin, a senior from Indianapolis.
This is a guy, number 59, Roosevelt Colvin, Notre Dame has to handle. And one of the ways they want to do it is changing up the snap count. Roosevelt Colvin gets a great jump. Almost it looks like he knows the snap count. They would like to have a really change the snap count, maybe get a few offsides on Colvin to slow him down.
That was his 45th tackle for a loss in his career at Purdue. Blocked 3 field goals. He is a force, although only 248 pounds. Jackson out of the shotgun, gets a block and stumbles to the 30, the 31. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Adrian Beasley from the secondary makes the tackle. And again, to confirm the Irish problems scoring early, only 3 field goals in the first half in their first 2 games.
Unlike the Michigan game where Michigan just didn't get the ball in the end zone, what Purdue has done here is put the ball in the end zone twice.
Malcolm Johnson, the rangy 6'5" wide receiver, out to the left. Rakai Nelson to the right on 3rd down 7. Nelson comes in motion. Swing pass to Denson. Picks his way out of 1 tackle, fights along the sideline, and is going to be close to a 1st down out near the 38. Mike Hawthorne, number 11, the cornerback, finally got him out of bounds, and let's see where they spot him.
Is that great effort, though, Dick? I mean, this is what you need when your team is down by 14 points. Your offense is struggling. A guy that is fighting and scratching and clawing.
Yeah, they had him back inside the 35, but he refused to be tackled.
Boy, you really appreciate the heart of Audrey Denson. You talk to his teammates, and they mention a lot of things, but say this guy has got heart.
Well, when you talk about a leader and a leading rusher, and you can give all the superlatives for the various talents, but when your teammates say he's got such a big heart, you heard that more than once yesterday. Now the measurement, was all that effort worth a Notre Dame 1st down? Just missed.
I believe Bob Davies is going to have to go for it here. His defense has not slowed down Purdue. He's got a 220-pound quarterback, and he's just a scooch short of a 1st down. That's a little more than 2 inches, by the way.
The scooch?
Oh, yeah, just want to let you know.
I'm going to write that one down. That's, the English majors come up with those words.
Scooch. Yeah, look it up.
So they spotted at the 38, and Notre Dame indeed is going to go for it as they bring in a 2nd tight end, Dan O'Leary.
You could use a snap count too to try to draw him offside, but I think you really you go for it. The defense the defense needs a break in Notre Dame.
They send Holloway 1 tight end right, O'Leary the other is on the left side out of an I formation with Denson the tailback, and now Jackson calls timeout. Nothing going right early for Bob Davie and Notre Dame. It's 14-0 Purdue. The Purdue Boilermakers have not won here at Notre Dame since 1974, and they jump out to an impressive lead, 14-0. Now a gamble by Bob Davie deep in his own end, 4th down and inches, and the sneak by Jackson. It'll all depend on the spot. He didn't need much, just inches.
He didn't get much. I'm not sure he got the scooch.
I was going to say, if he got a little more than a scooch, what would that be?
Scooch plus.
And now the linesmen have the ball marked, and they may have a measurement.
You mentioned Matt Mitrione, number 98. See this guy here in the middle of the screen? This is a guy that looked like he got some real penetration.
Well, what a big measurement this is for Purdue. Already ahead 14-0, could get the ball at the Irish 38-yard line if they stop Jackson.
And Bob Davie had to. I mean, his defense has not been able to figure out this Purdue offense, spread offense.
Oh my!
Jim Coletto, offensive coordinator of Notre Dame. Said just get a little more in scooch. We got the first
well, you couldn't have gone out there and placed the ball down with your eye and made it any closer than that. So the Davie gamble just does reward at the 38-yard line. Denson in the eye. Nelson in motion. Jackson, play action to throw. Interference as the intended receiver, Rakai Nelson. Dennison was being bear hugged by Billy Guston, the safety.
Yeah, now he may argue it's not catchable. That's what Brock Spack, the defensive coordinator, is saying. That signal over here, that ball is not catchable. But he had him tackled. He may have been able to make a play.
He couldn't move toward the ball.
Yeah, exactly. So when you decide to hit, well, I don't know if that's not catchable. Got to give the guy a chance.
No foul.
Oh, my. Well, if you can get away with that downfield, it's going to be pretty tough to get open. How can this not be a penalty?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Billy Guston, number 5, I think it was kind of an out-and-up move, was fooled and just tackled him and avoid the big play. Remember, the ball has to be catchable, but the receiver didn't have a chance to, Rakai Nelson didn't have a chance even to make a move. And I think that should have been pass interference.
Now 2nd down and 10. Nelson and Bobby Brown to the right. Malcolm Johnson split left. Shotgun for Jarius Jackson. Hands off to Denson. Denson trying to get outside. Breaks a couple of tackles. Fights his way to a first down at midfield. Mike Hawthorne finally made the stop. And Denson made a lot out of very little opportunity.
You know, he does that a lot, Dick. I mean, he very few times does he have negative yardage, Autry Denson. And if they're going to get back into this ball game, it's going to be by giving the ball to Autry Denson. Good line blocking there by Holloway and Rosenthal. And really good receiver blocking. Bobby Brown got down there. He's 88. Number 9, Rakai Nelson, did a good job. He got hurt on the play, though, did Nelson.
Rakai Nelson, number 9, twisted an ankle, it appeared, limped off. First down at midfield, Notre Dame. Late in the first quarter, trailing Purdue 14-0. Brown in motion. Denson up the middle. And he gains 3 as a flag flies. Tackled by Rocco Foggio, a sophomore from Farmington, Michigan, number 87.
Well stated. Beautiful. Beautiful pronunciation. I think it was a personal foul against the Irish. Again, they're not good enough, dynamic enough to overcome their own mistakes. They had a lot of them 2 weeks ago against Michigan State.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
We haven't seen a lot of in the 2 games from Notre Dame. When you have a quarterback who's struggling, is you try to think maybe it's some screens, some delays. We haven't seen a lot of that from Notre Dame.
Yes, Roosevelt Colvin was Luke Pettigrew, the guilty party in kind of hooking that defensive end. The linesman on the near side threw the flag, and that's perhaps what he saw. First down 20. Bobby Brown, who's had a quiet start to this season, in motion. Give to Dempsey on the draw. Kicks out of 1 tackle. Oh, he's got some moves and gains 10 back that they lost on the penalty. It'll be 2nd and 10. Lee Johnson makes the tackle.
And Dick, a good call really against a defensive end that is playing so widely like Colvin is, number 59. He's way out there. Remember, Denson is a real good draw runner. Bob Davie was saying, get the ball to him deep in the backfield, let him find a hole. You don't have to overpower guys, let him find a crease, and is a really good draw runner. Good receiving blocking by the Irish. All their wide receivers seem to do a pretty good job of getting in front of those defenders.
Jay Johnson, number 11, making the block. 2nd 10. Jarius Jackson to Denson. Big hole. Skips to the outside to the 35 to 34-yard line. First down. 16 yards for Denson.
Purdue has a system. Notre Dame is struggling to establish a system. And while they're trying to establish that, give the ball to Autry Denson. And this guy is a determined, powerful runner. They like the draw plays. They've run it 4 times so far in this first half successfully. And I would force Purdue to stop it. I mean, keep running the play.
Bobby Brown making the block downfield. Another wide receiver throwing a clearing block on first down to give to the fullback.
Jamie Spencer.
Much there for Jamie Spencer. Willie Fells, inside linebacker for Purdue, the former outstanding wrestler in high school. In fact, many thought he had talent to become an Olympic Greco-Roman wrestler. Lost only twice in 101 matches down there in Florida, and beat a couple of men who have won national titles, Mark Smith and Chris Bono. Fells, 6'1" and 225. Impressive young man. Enjoyed visiting with him in West Lafayette this week. 2nd down, a short 10. Jackson, little delay. waits for something to open and uses his 220 pounds to pick up some good yardage to the 28. Lee Johnson makes the tackle along with Willie Fells.
Gained a short 7 on that one. But it was a good little play by Jarius Jackson. They mix up a lot of draw plays with Audrey Denson. And Jarius Jackson, he's got a powerful legs and a good runner. If they can get him to combine some timely passing, Dick, and be more two-dimensional, then they can really put some fear into defenses. But until he throws the ball effectively, people are going to gang up on him.
11th play of the drive, 3rd and 4 at the Purdue 27. Final minute, first quarter. Fumbled the snap, picks it up, and it cost him the juggled snap, and no gain on the play is Willie Fells. #1 tackler a year ago for the Boilermakers. He leads them again this year.
Willie Fells, their middle linebacker, Purdue's middle linebacker, is one competitive guy. He never got the snap. The most fundamental play in football, the quarterback-center exchange, never had a handle on it. And this is a quick, penetrating Purdue defense.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Notre Dame. The Purdue Boilermakers jump out to a 14-0 lead. We'll be back after these words from your local station. Welcome back. We open the second quarter. Dick Enberg with Pat Hayden and Jim Gray. Purdue leading Notre Dame 14-0. The Irish are presented with another testy call. Bob Davies going for it on 4th. It's about 3.5. They need to get inside the Purdue 29 for a first down.
And Dick, a great time for a hard count by Jarius Jackson, trying to draw off Roosevelt Colvin, who likes to jump early.
Joey Getherall, the speediest of receivers, is the man far left for the Irish. To the fullback behind Jackson, going to throw for it on 4th down. And he's got his man complete to Johnson. And Malcolm Johnson has an Irish first down. Deshaun Austin, number 33, covering for Purdue.
Good, safe throw for Jarius Jackson. Threw it right on the money. It was a good protect. You can see a passing lane really open up right in here. Then he steps up right in there and drills the ball to Malcolm Johnson. Big target, 6'5". He's got an extended strike zone. Hard to overthrow him. And the ball was right on the number.
His dad, who is a minister in the Philadelphia area, 7-footer, played basketball at Penn. But I like those high throws. First down inside the Purdue 15. Denson, big hole. Audrey Denson, touchdown!
Audrey Denson got Notre Dame back in this ball game, Dick. One timely pass by Jarius Jackson, a clutch pass on 4th down, but that drive was mostly Audrey Denson.
His 4th rushing touchdown this year, his 6th career touchdown against Purdue. And the Irish on the board. Try for point. Jim Sanson out of Hunter Smith's hold. Sounded as if someone got a piece of it, but Sanson did knock it through. Drive kept alive by that 4th down spot and a 4th down pass. Audrey Denson pays the dividend. It's 14-7 Purdue. Back on the campus of the University of Notre Dame, Purdue leading 14-7 early second quarter. A drive that was alive due to 4th down plays made by Notre Dame and Audrey Denson, 15 yards for the scoring touchdown to cap a 72-yard march, 13 plays. And Denson certainly the star of that drive. Randall Lane and Cliff Jackson back inside the 5-yard line for the Boilermakers. Hunter Smith to kick it off for Notre Dame. Just 31 seconds into the second quarter. Very hot. In terms of humidity, over 100 degrees, the heat index. Ball again bounces. Taken by Jackson. Now he's got some running room. 30, 40, and finally stopped at the 45-yard line. Devron Harper got a piece of him. 35-yard return. What appeared to be a mistake by Jackson, he turns it into a good return.
Go back and take a look at this return. I mean, Notre Dame has been concerned about special teams. They got a real speed guy there in Cliff Jackson. And oftentimes when you let the ball bounce, the coverage just kind of outruns it, and that looks what happened there.
Jackson was a California junior college long jump champion, leaping nearly 25 feet. And great speed that he brings this Purdue team, one of their junior college recruits. Brees starts this series out of the shotgun. Hands off to Crabtree. He's met by Bobby Howard. But look at the leg power of Crabtree. Picks up about 5 yards. Let's go back to the Notre Dame score.
We talked about the wide receivers blocking so well for Notre Dame. Bobby Brown, number 88. You're going to see him right up in here, right there. And this is the fullback, Spencer Pettigrew, is down here blocking his guy. Big lane, but great blocking by the wide receiver. Good lead block by Spencer. And Pettigrew, the left tackle, just collapses the inside.
2nd down and 5, thanks to Crabtree's solid run on first down. Ball at midfield. Again, Crabtree. And he fights his way to the Notre Dame 45, and that'll be close to a first down. Bobby Howard, a solid hit. Number 27 for the Irish.
Bobby Howard's responsibility is the run. I mean, everybody else is worried about the pass, but old Bobby Howard, number 27, is thinking about the run. And when he's on the field, which is most of the time for the Irish, their defense plays so much better. Last year, he was injured in 5 games. The Irish lost 4 of those. A much more complete team when he is healthy and playing well.
From Rand, West Virginia. Bubbles is his nickname. He said, don't call me that, but it's because he doesn't say much. He hardly has a bubbly personality, admits to that. But boy, he can create some bubbles with his hits. First down play for Brees on the run. Great throw. Isaac Jones fumble. And who's got it? Irish. Notre Dame.
Drew Brees to Isaac Jones. The pass was complete.
Had a big 96-yard fumble return against Michigan State, one of the few bright spots. Now, they're going to complete passes. Purdue is going to complete passes. What you have to do is really hit the receivers. And Isaac Jones gets hit here.
He was stripped by Tony Driver, 25. Give him credit for forcing the fumble. Cooper there to fall on it. Notre Dame has the ball.
Go back to the fumble recovery. Isaac Jones, number 6 of Purdue, fumbles the ball after being stripped by Tony Driver. Now watch D. Cooper, number 1 of Notre Dame. The ball is inbounds, but he is out. That should not have been actually a turnover for Notre Dame. They should not have had that fumble recovery because he is out of bounds when he made that stop of the ball.
Just having your hand on the ball doesn't mean you recovered. You got to pull it in, show possession. And so Notre Dame with an apparent break. Starts from the 25, trailing 14-7 early in the 2nd quarter. Jackson to throw. Sidelines incomplete to Bobby Brown out at the 43-yard line.
Bobby Brown is the guy that's going to have to emerge more and more as this year goes around, in the sense that he caught over 40 passes a year ago, has 1 reception so far this year. So as this Irish offense finds an identity and moves forward, he's going to have to become part of that.
He, like Audrey Denson from Lauderhill, Florida. He went to St. Thomas Aquinas, and Denson to Nova High. 2nd and 10. Draw play to the quarterback Jackson for a couple of yards, but did not fool the Purdue defense. Brings up 3rd down. Rocco Foggio with another play. Check out Notre Dame's official athletic department website, www.und.com. Live in-game statistics, transcripts of Bobby Davies' press conferences, all the inside information on football, and the other 25 Irish sports at www.und.com. 3rd down 7. Pressure. Jackson has to throw it away. No flag. Irish offensive player close enough to that one as Roosevelt Colden, number 59, that senior pass rusher, was in on top of the quarterback.
Yeah, he is a disruptor. Number 59, right here in the middle of your screen now. You get a little stunt from the outside to the end. I mean, you think of him as a lean, mean guy on the outside, but he can really rush the passer on the inside. Good stunt. Mitrione there as well.
And number 6, Malcolm Johnson, in the area for Notre Dame. Cliff Jackson back inside the 35 for Purdue, as Hunter Smith having a good season, averaging just under 45 a punt, but scuffs this one off the right side of his foot, and it'll take a decent Notre Dame bounce and roll out at the 42 of Purdue.
If Johnny Miller were here, he'd say, "Shank you very much."
Yes. 29 yards. Purdue will take that one. The Boilermakers leading 14-7. Shadows of the Golden Dome, Notre Dame Stadium, 80,000 strong. Purdue leading 14-7. 12 minutes left in this first half. First down, Boilermakers at their 43. Drew Brees to throw. Wide open lane, can't pull it in. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, Joe Tiller's hero was Woody Hayes growing up. Woody Hayes did run formations like this. You see 3 wide receivers in this set with 1 back. Then you have the 4 wide receivers, no tight end. Then here 3 guys to one side in the shotgun formation, 1 back remaining. 3 to the other, with the back all split out to the top side and a tight end in the ball game. And then no backs. There's nobody back there. So again, really difficult to get into a defensive rhythm of this against this Purdue team.
Joe Tiller replaced Jim Cletto a year ago and went 9-3. First winning season since 1984 for Purdue. Brees throws back to Crabtree, and Crabtree to the 50. Devon Harper can't bring him down. He's to the Notre Dame 35. Finally tackled by Anthony Weaver, a 22-yard screen.
Terrific call by Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator. I mean, they have been rolling out Drew Brees some. Looks a little bit like that bootleg pass they've run so much the last couple of weeks. Fake the ball to Crabtree. You see 3 offensive linemen out in front of him. And then Crabtree, the defense actually kind of responds. They rallies, but breaks the tackle of Devon Harper. So well-designed play, and then the strength of J. Crabtree. There's Jim Chaney, the affable offensive coordinator.
He is that. First down inside the Irish 35. Brees complete the lane. Inside the 25 to the 24. Appears to have enough for a first down. Cooper and Good team up on the tackle, and Drew Brees continues to throw strikes for Purdue.
You know, Dick, this offense really is an anomaly in the Big Ten. They went 6-2 a year ago in the Big Ten. Now, they didn't play Ohio State, didn't play Michigan.
Don't again this year.
They don't again this year, and that's a big advantage for them. And this is a team that's going to cause a lot of people trouble, because you can't say, hey, we're just going to make them one-dimensional. We're going to take away this receiver or that receiver. There's just too many people to worry about, and because they throw it so quickly, it's hard to sack him.
And we want to follow up on that point. Out of the shotgun, give to Crabtree, and that didn't fool Notre Dame. Is charging through Lamont Bryant, number 53, to nail Crabtree for a loss. And the thought is, and that's what we asked Joe Tiller right off the bat, why don't more teams blitz you? Why isn't the blitz effective? That's Rakai Nelson, a sprained ankle. They've iced that. Why don't you blitz them more?
And his response is, hey, we have hot receivers that put defensive coordinators, that's Greg Madison, in real bind. He said, hey, we have seen everything. He ran this offense when he was at Wyoming. He developed it, somewhat at Washington State when he was an assistant there. He said that we've seen everything. We've been able to adjust everything.
Drew Brees starts in the shotgun, now moves up under center. And whistles and flags, and perhaps a delay of game against Purdue.
Dick, you mentioned an interesting point there. He starts the shotgun, sometimes comes up. Each time Drew Brees gives his center a little slap.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Drew Brees will come up and give his center a little slap on his hip just to let him know, hey, I'm here. I'm not in the shotgun formation.
So 5-yard penalty takes it back to the Notre Dame 33-yard line. 2nd down and 19 for Purdue. Well, Brees, interesting story in that he was not recruited heavily in the state of Texas. Both of his parents went to A&M. His mother, a fantastic high school athlete, was all-state 3 sports. He would have gone to Washington State. Drew Bledsoe, same first name, was his idol, but they weren't interested. So Purdue gets a real find in this young man, who goes long. Incomplete, intended in the end zone for number 8, Gamecocks.
Boy, was Randall Lane open on the right side. Drew Brees was focused on getting the ball deep to a wide receiver, but the shorter route to Randall Lane was wide open on 2nd and 19. You're gonna watch the shorter route on the inside here is get my illustrator working there. Excuse me. Randall Lane is wide open. Everybody goes deep. Remember, 2nd and 19. Maybe get half of it back on 2nd down. But he was thinking touchdown all the way.
third down 19 with a touchdown lead. Purdue 14-7. Approaching the 10-minute mark, second quarter. Brees, shotgun, draw. He can run. And bounce to the 20-yard line. And that puts his team in position for a field goal with the wind at Purdue's back.
Yeah, really smart play calling by Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, Joe Tiller, the head coach. You know, 3rd and 19, don't take a chance, up 14-7, get yourself a field goal range. Again, there's Jim Chaney. Boy, they do a lot of different things. One thing I'd like to see Drew Brees, though, is go feet first, and don't want to be too courageous.
Travis Dorsch, he may be the tallest field goal kicker in college football, 6'6", this young man from Bozeman, Montana.
Looks like a one-iron.
37-yard attempt. Plenty long and down the middle. And Purdue adds 3. And with 9:28 remaining in the first half here at Notre Dame, the Boilermakers 17, the Irish 7. Welcome back, Joe Tiller. Purdue with a 17-7 lead, and he has his finger on the stopwatch.
The head coaches have to think about everything. That was just on the kick, a field goal by Dorsch. And, you know, head coaches have to think about everything, every little detail, offensively, defensively. But I don't say head coaches actually timing kicks too often.
Usually that comes a bit later. Wind again blows the ball off the tee. And thus far, Purdue has not kicked the ball long, respecting Notre Dame's talent for returning kicks. And Bob Davie told us he had hoped that he might get a big return. And thus far, the strategy for Purdue is just to kick it down short and make somebody up front carry it back.
And he thought Tony Driver had a chance to go the distance. That man right there.
And once again, the ball off the tee. And so someone will come in and assist Lee Johnson. Johnson, interestingly, was a tailback as he broke in with Purdue, and the other linebacker, John Reeves, was a quarterback. Here they are, outside linebackers playing against Notre Dame today in their senior years.
And holders now. Lee Johnson's a holder now.
Yeah, they do kick this one long, and with the wind, it carries to Driver at the goal line. Driver to the 20, to the 27, and Lee Johnson makes the tackle. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. Dr. Will Yergler of Notre Dame tells us that right now the heat index on the field is over 100 degrees. In fact, he says it's 103. They're going to have plenty of IVs for both teams standing by at halftime right now. He says nobody really has cramped up too badly or is suffering from dehydration. Dr. Yergler goes on to tell us that Rakai Nelson has a severely sprained left ankle and he will not return. It's pretty hot down here, Dick.
So Rakai Nelson, thanks, Jim, who has made some solid contributions in the first 2 games.
After this is a goal, be first down.
Will not see duty the rest of the day, and penalty against Notre Dame will take them back inside the 15-yard line.
You know, Purdue, just following up on Jim's report, Purdue has played in a lot of heat this year. Opened up in Southern California in about 110 degrees, and it hasn't gotten much cooler since then.
Well, when we visited Purdue a couple of days ago, it looked as if fall was here.
Yeah.
It was temperature had dropped down at night below 50, but boy, here we have a very hot summery day in northern Indiana this afternoon.
You know, this game so far, to me, it really reminds me of the Michigan game. It looked like, you know, Michigan was kind of dominated, but Notre Dame just kind of keeps hanging around.
17-7, Irish start from their 13. Spencer at fullback, Denson the tailback, Brown in motion.
Yes.
And the ball wasn't snapped. Jackson pulled away, no snap.
Everybody moved except the center, John Morandi. It's one of those, you hate when that happens. So, you know, they've had a missed exchange.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They've had a missed exchange between the quarterback and center, and then a missed snap count. Watch, everybody with the center, John Morandi, moves. So you have to believe in the numbers that Randy may have been wrong.
Yeah, the jury says it's you that's guilty.
Now, 2 straight penalties now for the Irish, and find themselves deep in their own territory. Really an important series for the Irish right now.
Well, from the 8-yard line, 1st and 15. Joey Getherall, a speedster, bottom of your screen, the wide receiver for Notre Dame. Play action, and they're looking for Getherall deep. Incomplete, knocked away by Adrian Beasley.
Oh, that is really a timely play by Adrian Beasley. And good defensive scouting. You know, Brock Spack, the defensive coordinator, he sees number 18, Joey Getherall, come in. They like to go deep to Joey Getherall out of Bishop Vermont High School in La Puente, California. Again, ran the post route, looked like it was open for a moment, but right at the last instant, Adrian Beasley, number 7, knocks it away without the interference. Great play.
Notre Dame going for the bomb deep in their own end, but Beasley not fooled. Denson breaking tackles, squirts to the 19, where it'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Irish. Willie Fells tripped him up.
Isn't it amazing? I don't know if you heard it. I did. The audio. The Purdue defense called draw, draw, draw. They knew what Audrey Denson was going to do, and yet he still had a very nice game. Again, Purdue has not stopped Audrey Denson on the draw play yet.
Oh, he's at 59 yards for this first half. If he doubles that, he'll move ahead of Vegas Ferguson, number 2 all time in Irish rushing. Swings it to Jamie Spacer, and the fullback across the 30 and has a first down. Chike O'Keefer, number 54, bumped him out of bounds.
And these are the kind of passes that Jarius Jackson needs to, put in his resume, his repertoire. Give him those really nice, easy, safe passes to your backs, maybe some screens. They have not used the tight end much. Holloway, their tight end's only caught 1 pass, but that was a well-thrown ball with good touch by Jackson.
First down at the 30, 8 minutes, 21 seconds left in the first half, 17-7 Purdue. Now the back, Spencer moved, but he can reset. And to give to Denson, another big ball. What a move! And another first down. Denson with 11.
The exact same play Notre Dame ran for a touchdown. Their touchdown. Bobby Brown comes in motion. He blocks on a corner. Cut back this time by Audrey Denson. This time he hits the backside of the hole. On the touchdown, he just followed his block of his fullback. But again, good block by Tim Ritter, number 70. Bobby Brown, again, the wide receiver, and they're feeding the ball to Audrey Denson. That is this team's personality. Get the ball to Denson.
Averaging over 10 yards a carry, Denson. Needs 107 to pass Vegas Ferguson, number 2. Alan Pinkett, the all-time rusher in Notre Dame history. Denson gets the call again. No room this time. A yard loss as Mike Rose, former safety, has moved up to linebacker, strong side backer for the Boilermakers out of Kettering, Ohio. Makes the tackle, and there to assist plenty of white shirts. There's Rose, he and Reeves sharing that strong side backer position.
Taylor likes to move people around. You see them all looking at their wrists too. They have wristbands on, and you don't see many defensive teams, but the entire defensive front they have about 62 different defensive plays on their wristbands.
Second down, call it 12. On the keeper. Crushed at the 45-46. Lee Johnson down at the bottom of the pile. Now that'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. And a face mask against Purdue. And with that, 5 more yards to the Purdue 49.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down. Still second down.
Really an impressive drive, really from deep in their own territory. Face mask coming up. Yeah, there it is. I think it was 35, Lee Johnson, who had hold of Jarius Jackson's face mask.
Still second down as you heard the referee cry. Second and yard and a half. Denson breaks the tackle. And a first down at the Boilermaker 42. Adrian Beasley made the stop. But once again, Denson not brought down by that first hit.
This is the best defense against Drew Brees. Keep him off the field. Feed the ball to Audrey Denson. Your offensive line has done a great job. Ritter and Rosenthal, Morandi, Wisney, Pettigrew. And again, Audrey Denson just kind of picking his way. There aren't really any design calls that get the ball to him deep and let him option run.
Well, Rice gave Purdue fits. 21-19 Boilermakers with that wishbone offense that kept the ball away from Purdue. First down, Denson. Again, great balance and dive yards inside the 35. A gain of 8 more. Deshaun Austin made the stop.
He doesn't fumble the ball, as we've talked about in the past. He always seems to get positive yardage, and he's one of the more determined runners in college football, is Audrey Denson. Just when you think you have him stopped for about a yard or two, puts his arm down, keeps chugging and churning, and picks up about 6.
And that gives him 96 yards on 11 carries, plus the touchdown. Big first half for Denson. Now showing good speed, the fullback straight ahead, close to the first down at the 32. Warren Moore, number 58, in for Roosevelt Colvin to give Colvin a breather. Makes the stop.
I like to give the fullback the ball once every papal election. When you got Audrey Denson back there, the fullback doesn't see the ball much.
That's right. You know your role, and it's not to embrace the football. It's to get out in front and knock somebody down.
Although the Irish have had some great fullbacks over the years, some really good players, good runners.
Well, Mark Edwards, who did a solid job just recently. Reminder, the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company has dispatched its Ohio-based blimp Spirit of Akron to give us these aerial views of today's game. The Spirit is proud to be part of the 100th anniversary celebration for the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Floating along with that 15 to 20 mile an hour gust, you get the E coupon today. First down for the Irish, just inside Purdue's 32-yard line. 5:24 left. First half. Current drive that started deep in the Notre Dame end as the Irish try to cut into that 17-7 Purdue lead. Play action for Jackson. Wide open. And a first down to the tight end, Jabari Holloway. Hawthorne made the stop.
For a quarterback who is struggling with his confidence, finding a big, friendly tight end is a welcome sight. Only the second catch of the year for Jabari Holloway, but you see Jarius Jackson's confidence grow. And it's growing because his offensive line's giving him protection. It's growing because Audrey Denson's doing a wonderful job of running the football. And then he finds his big 6'3" tight end down the middle of the field.
First down at the Purdue 16. And again, no snap as Jackson pulled away from center, and this time it might have been on the quarterback.
It's interesting. This week, Notre Dame is calling the snap count from the sideline. Bob Davie told us that. I don't know whether there's some miscommunication when that snap count.
False start on a quarterback.
And the reason they're doing that is Bob Davie felt, hey, we want to get this Purdue up the field team offside a few times, keep them off balance. We want to use our snap count. And if we just rely on Jarius to change the snap count, he won't do it. So they're signaling in the snap count.
This time the line stayed solid. It was Jackson who pulled back, so the call goes against him 5 yards to the 21-yard line. That's a tribute to Roosevelt Colvin and Chike O'Keefer, those two outside men on the line for Purdue. They're so quick. Denson slow down in the backfield, still gets some yardage as he plows to the 18 and gets 3 hit in the backfield. Mike Hawthorne secured the stop.
If you're an offensive lineman, and we were talking to Luke Pettigrew, the number 54, the weak side tackle for the Irish this week, and he said, Audrey Denson is like one of us. He's like one of the offensive linemen. There's Luke, all 6'6", 300 pounds of him. He said, this is a guy that we love to block for because he's just like one of us. He's not afraid to get down and dirty.
Second down, 12. Draw play to Denson outside. 15 to the 11-yard line. Again, he broke the initial hit. O'Keefer from behind was able to drag him down.
Well, he's getting up a little slowly. Audrey Denson's over 100 yards.
For the 19th time in his career, 2 less than the Irish record held by Alan Pinkett. Denson at 105, 2 yards away from passing Vegas Ferguson as the second best rusher all time, and he's winded.
Time to give the ball to Jarius Jackson or perhaps your fullback again.
And this is a critical time where you need Denson. 3rd and 5. Brown in motion. Quick throw. Holloway, touchdown!
Jarius Jackson.
Jabari Holloway with his third catch of the season for a touchdown, his first of this new year. So the Irish now are 11 for 11 when they've penetrated their opponent's 20-yard line. So once inside that 20, they produced. Sampson adds the extra point, and the Purdue lead is reduced to 3. Jarius Jackson, his third touchdown throw of the season. The big tight end, Jabari Holloway, makes it 17-14. All right, thank you, Dan Hicks. And what a baseball season this has been. 66 homers for Sosa and McGuire with 2 to go. 3-way tie for that wild card in the National League. Stay tuned. We'll have all the up-to-date reports throughout our coverage from Notre Dame today. And at halftime, Dan Hicks with a sterling lineup of information, including insights on the running back Autry Denson of Notre Dame. Hunter Smith skids one down the hash marks, picked up by Cliff Jackson. And Jackson finds the seam and crosses the 30, brought down at the 34.
Let's go back to that touchdown. It was really a smart heads-up play by Jarius Jackson. This is the middle linebacker, Fells, Willie Fells. He's going to blitz, so it's a hot read by Jarius Jackson. He sees it. He delivers the ball to his tight end, who's now caught 2 passes and only had 1 coming into the game. So great read and a nice touch throw by Jarius Jackson.
11-yard touchdown as he breaks the tackle of Billy Gustin. 17-14. Purdue has not had to punt this first half. 4 possessions. The only thing that stopped the Boilermakers from scoring is that 1 fumble. Out of the shotgun with 2:44 left in the half. Plenty of time for Drew Brees. Short pass underneath to Randall Lane to the 40, maybe the 41 on forward progress. A gain of nearly 6. Brock Williams, the tackler. No huddle apparently as Brees in the hurry up.
Again, he looks over the sideline to give him a number, and he's got this wristband with 102 different plays on that wristband.
Jay Crabtree with him in the backfield. 2nd and 5. It's Crabtree. And met before he could pick up the first down by Antoine Jones, the 280-pound senior from Ohio. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1.
With 102 plays on your wristband, you better have pretty good eyesight, because that writing is not very large.
Boy, we'd be in big trouble, wouldn't we? You need a rocking chair and some real strong specs. 3rd and 1, Purdue. Crabtree breaks tackles, 50, bounces to the 49 of Notre Dame, and it takes down the Irish defense to get him to the turf. That's a first down to stop the clock. 1:38 left in the half.
The J. Crabtree is a little bit like Autry Denson in the sense of the determined runner. I mean, again, breaking tackles, that time of Grant Irons. Bounces off D. Cooper. He's a powerful guy at a little over 200 pounds.
Grew up in Wichita, Kansas. His idol Barry Sanders is from that city. The throw complete to Jackson at the Irish 45. Not much there. Sanders and good, quick to make the stop. They'll give progress to the 44, and timeout called by Purdue.
It's their first. They'll have 2 remaining with 1:22 in the half, up by 3 points. But doesn't this game really kind of strike you a little bit like that Michigan-Notre Dame game? It seemed like Michigan was blowing them out, but Notre Dame just kind of hangs around.
And then Notre Dame with a big second half. A reminder, NBC Wednesday night, primetime, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the American League Division Series. It'll be in New York. Either the Indians or the Rangers will be there for Game 2. Bob Costas and Joe Morgan with a call. Game 2 of the American League Division Series. Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on NBC. Isn't this a great time of the year for a sports fan?
It really is. I mean, I love fall just because it's football season. I think the home run chase has really captivated everybody in America.
And now the playoff, which is going to dramatically go down apparently to the final day of the season, and maybe even a playoff in the National League. For Notre Dame, their challenge here to stop Purdue from adding to their 3-point lead. Purdue with the ball at the Irish 44. As you look at the running back comparison, Crabtree used for that short yardage, and Denson's broken some big runs.
And Denson really deserves a rest, which he's getting right now. But now Notre Dame defense has to rally, and what that means, their defensive backs have to be able to make some tackles after the catch.
No tight end, 4 wide receivers, and Crabtree. Brees, nice throw. Jackson stays in bounds. Now he gets out and stops the clock. And he picks up a first down in the process.
Notre Dame change of pace there. Devron Harper, one of the corners, came in on a blitz. You know, that one of those old safety blitzes you see in the NFL so much, trying to get him and put some pressure on him. But he gets rid of the ball so quickly. He's in that shotgun formation, and Crabtree does a good job of picking up that blitzer. And that wide receiver, Cliff Jackson, was wide open. I thought he should have gone out of bounds a little bit earlier, but it ultimately get there.
Stops the clock, 1:15 remaining in the half. First down at the Notre Dame 33. Brees now is 14 for 18 in this first half. Swings it to Crabtree. Crabtree bounces to the 25, the 24 as Lamont Bryant makes the tackle along with Ty Good, and the second timeout called by Purdue with 1:03 left in the half. And Joe Tiller's offense, as we expected, has been almost unstoppable.
Well, you know, I think there's some real advantages, and there's some disadvantages, real advantages to this spread offense, though. You know, it's really unique, as we talked about the Big Ten. They just don't see that. You don't really need dominating offensive linemen to run this thing. They have a good offensive line, but you don't need dominating. It forces the opposing team to tackle well in the open field. Notre Dame has done a great job of that thus far. And your opposition really can't disguise the defense. You have to commit to a defense when the quarterback comes up under the center.
Wouldn't you like to look at that kind of setup, huh?
Boy. Now you say, what are the disadvantages? Well, you generally your own defense takes more snaps because you have a lot of quick scores and such, and you're on the field a long time because of that. The other thing, I think the biggest disadvantage, right, if your quarterback has an off day, they don't have a plan B. It's hard to.
And how about bad weather? The bad weather.
Bad weather, you know. Although, you know, Joe Tiller said we ran it in Wyoming in all sorts of weather, and did particularly well. But he is a breath of fresh air. What?
Just a scooch shy
of getting that one out.
It's second down and 2 Purdue. They have one timeout. Ball at the Notre Dame 25. Drew Brees has only missed on 4 passes out of 19. Pressure on. Scrambles well and hit a play to the sidelines to stop the clock. Is he only a sophomore?
Remember we talked about the feel? You know, it's one of those intangibles. Yeah, you get up this side. You got to be able to throw that pass, this pass. Safety blitz again, really from both sides. Sanders, number 5, is a safety. Devron Harper, number 10, is a corner. So they come with that the blitz off the corners, but Drew Brees has this unique ability to sense where people are. The sense of where you are. The book that Bill Bradley used to wrote years ago. Yeah.
This young man was a 12 and under tennis champion in Texas. He's an outstanding basketball player. Throws. Randall Lane has it at the 5-yard line. That'll be close to a first down with 47 seconds showing.
Oh, man. Is that a good throw? Right. He's going to use this last time out right in front of Randall Lane. I mean, the receivers don't have to adjust much, Dick. I mean, I think that is the thing. Starts with protection up here. These guys doing a pretty good job, even though Notre Dame is trying to blitz, this time a center blitz. Gets rid of the ball in the 3-step. Big target. Lane is 6'1", 205. But the receivers do not have to adjust much. And again, that is the thing the characteristic that I like so much about Drew Brees right now is throwing the ball, very catchable balls.
And Brock Williams had pretty good coverage, but couldn't break it up at the 5. Now the advantage for Purdue. It's 2nd and inches. If they make the first down here, they stop the clock, and they can use that as another timeout. So you can't depend on Brees throwing the ball here. They might run it, pick up the first.
Well, he's already run for a touchdown. They've run, no backs, quarterback draws in this situation before. Again, you're going to see them spread this thing out. There is no goal line offense per se for Purdue. It's the same on the 5-yard line as it is on their own 5. They're going to spread it out. Key series for Notre Dame.
2nd and a short yard outside the 5. Crabtree stays in the backfield. 4 wides. Is it rolled a touchdown? No signal yet, and now Notre Dame falls on it. Isaac Jones, as he was hit, he thought he was in the end zone. Touchdown. He had broken the plane before he fumbled. 2 tough somewhat controversial calls on Purdue touchdowns in this first half.
On the boundaries. 5-yard touchdown pass to Isaac Jones. Remember, the ball has to cross the first part of the paint. They have to get all the way in the end zone. I don't think he had possession. Yeah.
And Notre Dame falls on it. That would have been a touchdown.
Notre Dame ball. I'm not sure he had possession there.
So both of the Purdue touchdowns, the first one and that one, certainly raised some eyebrows, if not some boos, from partisans here rooting for the Irish. So Isaac Jones reaching forward. Did he still have possession? No.
No, that should not
from that angle.
No. That should have been a possession of the Irish.
Tough to tell from that angle, since it lands in the end zone. But did he have possession when it first touched the front?
See right there. I don't think he has possession there.
But boy, what a hairline call! Yeah.
As you pointed out, there's been 2 of them.
And we can slow it down, and still tough to call it. So Isaac Jones, who said, I'm the man catches a lot of passes. He's over 20 for the season, but that's his first touchdown reception of this year. And Purdue again, 5 possessions. Notre Dame's defense did not stop them other than the fumble at the Irish 25. Jim?
Well, Dick, Bob Colbin, who is the side judge who was back and made that call right there, he simply was asking for help as to whether or not the offensive player had stepped out of bounds. Once he determined that he had crossed the plane of the goal line and was not out of bounds on the 1-yard line or inside the 1, he said that's a touchdown. Dick?
Yeah, we don't think he actually crossed the plane, though, Jim. That was the we're not sure he got the ball of the end zone.
There's another look. Devron Harper makes the hit. He's reaching for it, but actually he's fumbling it forward.
Yeah, he didn't have possession at that point in time.
Well, that's Monday morning quarterbacks will be chewing on that one here in northern Indiana. The line drive to kick with 36 seconds left in the half, and it goes through the end zone away from Darcy Levy, who had a good return against Michigan State a couple of weeks ago. And Notre Dame from the 20, and with so little time, we'll see if Bob Davie wants to take any chances facing this Purdue defense trailing by 10.
Well, I'll tell you, at halftime, the defensive coordinators, both defensive coordinators, are going to have to make some adjustments, because Notre Dame has really not stopped Drew Brees in this offense. And then Brock Spratt's back, the defensive coordinator of Purdue, is going to have to make his adjustments as well, because Audrey Denson had a huge first half.
Purdue's offense averaged 7.7 yards per play in the first half. They can get first downs in the Canadian League. Denson, and he's smothered right at the line of scrimmage with 30 seconds in the clock running, and it would appear that might be the last play of this first half. Well, you're impressed by 2 men offensively, Autry Denson, and it's no surprise there. But some of the folks around the country may not have heard much about Drew Brees, the sophomore for Purdue. All Brees did this first half is throw for 212 yards, 17 for 21, and a couple of the balls that were incomplete were in the hands of his receiver. Threw for 2 touchdowns and rushed for another. Drew Brees, that's a birthmark. Someone said, cosmetic surgery, we could say, no, that's part of me. I'm not going to eliminate that. He's a delightful young chap, and truly mature beyond his years. Only a sophomore, and he did everything right in this first half. And that is a couple of very difficult calls. I'm glad I'm not an official. Both the first and last touchdown for Purdue, close calls.
Well, you see Randall Lane, number 84, go out of bounds, come back in. He's allowed to do that as long as it hits the defensive player first, and then he has the strong hands to take it away. That wasn't nearly as controversial as this one. Isaac Jones from 5 outs. I believe he fumbled that ball before it crossed the plane. It should have been Notre Dame's ball, but nonetheless, they give him 2 touchdowns, and they score 24 points in the first half.
Notre Dame with the ball first here to open the second half. Tony Driver deep. And a change of numbers. This number 12 used to wear number 13. Shane Ryan has changed his number for this game. And he has been doing the kickoff duties throughout. Kicks it short, trying to stay away from the long play. But good blocking by Notre Dame, and breaking in the clear is Darcy Levy. And Levy, the sophomore, out of bounds. A good return to the 41-yard line. 21 on the play. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Well, I spoke to Bob Davie as he came out of the Notre Dame locker room. He told his team, hey, guys, somebody's got to step up. Enough is enough. It's about pride. How many of you feel we can really win this game? He went on to say that we cannot continue to give up 7.7 yards defensively to the Purdue team. That's just not going to get it done. He's going to try and throw some different changes. He's going to try and get Brees off balance a little bit here in the second half by changing it up. He only missed 4 passes. He was 17 for 21, and certainly that won't get it done either. Dick?
All right, thanks, Jim. You saw Willie Fells, that inside linebacker, looking at his defensive playlist on that wristband. As Darius Jackson, Denson had a hold, but was tripped up. Might have tripped up over his own defensive or his offensive blocker, Luke Pettigrew, number 54. Pettigrew, whose parents went to Penn State. His dad played football there. Number 54, significant. He grew up in Delaware, and one of Delaware's most famous, Randy White, wore that number, and that was his idol. He is a big guy. 300-pounder has developed into he's going to be a top pick at the next level.
And they call him the weak tackle, the quick tackle. He's got some speed, some good feet.
2nd down and 8. Cross to Denson. Ooh, as he hit hard as he crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line. Tackle made by Chike O'Keefer.
Well, both teams need to make some adjustments, Dick. You know, Jim Gray was talking to Bob Davie about what they want to do against Purdue's offense. But look what Andre Denson, all-time rushers, now in 2nd. You mentioned that a little bit earlier. But Purdue's going to have to find a response for that man. Andre Denson had a terrific first half, and you saw a lot more helmets on Andre Denson on that last run.
Denson given a break, 111 yards today. 3rd down and 5. Jarius Jackson in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Jackson throws, almost intercepted by David Nugent, number 82, the 291-pound tackle from Collierville, Tennessee.
Well, you know, the college coaches are great imitators of the pros. You're going to see them drop back in coverage. Again, see, they had a safety blitz on, so the nose tackle that time, David Nugent, drops back. Now, with those big gloves and all that tape on, he's not a threat really to intercept too many balls, but well-designed defense by Brock Spack, the defensive coordinator.
Vinny Sutherland back to return for Purdue as Hunter Smith to punt. His first punt was partially blocked. Very deliberate in his steps. A little quicker this time. High wobbler. Sutherland fair catch. Lets it go in the end zone for the touchback, and Purdue will bring its high-powered pass offense onto the field. Start from the 20 with a 10-point lead. Back with 80,000 at Notre Dame Stadium on this hot, humid, windy day. 24-14 Purdue. Boilermakers first possession, second half, and they start with a shotgun. Drew Brees, 17 for 21 in the first half. Gives to Crabtree, and they have him for a loss. Jay Crabtree tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Good surge from Grant Irons, number 44.
You know, I think anybody being compared to Drew Brees in the first half is going to pale by comparison. And look at the first half. He had 17 of 21, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Everything was really thrown right on the numbers of his wide receivers. Jarius Jackson, 50%. He came in as a 40% pass percentage completion, so he did a little better than he normally does. But this guy has had a spectacular game thus far.
Even outrushed Jackson, 28-26. 2nd down, 13. The throw complete. And Cliff Jackson tackled shy of the first down at the 25-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 5 with Johnny Sanders and Ty Good with a stop.
You know, Dick, there's just way too much cushion, I think, for these Purdue receivers. I think Notre Dame is going to have to come up and challenge these wide receivers a little bit more. Look, they're giving up 7.7 per play. And again, the soft coverage is not working right now. Challenge them, jam them at the line of scrimmage, and see what happens. It's just, they did a great job of taking away Michigan's Ty Streets in the second half, but they're going to have to really get up closer, I think, to these Purdue wide receivers.
Closer to 3rd and 5. The ball just shy of the 25. And first time that they really flushed Brees, and they get him for a sack at the 23. Devron Harper, the cornerback.
Nickel blitz. They tried it 4 times in the first half. Didn't get there. This time he was flushed out of the pocket, and Devron Harper, number 10, gets him. I mean, watch these guys off the corner. They're both coming. The bottom of the screen is number 10, Harper. And he flushes him out and then doesn't give up. Gets on the ground, gets up off the ground. Good hustling play by Devron Harper.
And for the first time, Danny Rogers to punt. He's averaging 44.4. Handles a low snap. Line drive kick. Ooh, a dangerous catch by Joey Getherall at the 45-yard line. Only a 33-yard punt. Notre Dame will start from the 45. There are a lot of great campuses in this United States. It's one of the tops right here at University of Notre Dame. You've made the tour running every Saturday morning.
And it is alive on Saturday mornings.
Excitement surrounding college football on Saturday here.
Special place.
Non-Perel. From the Notre Dame 45, trailing 24-14. The Irish wide open at the tight end. And it's Holloway at the 20, at the 10, to the 5, and denied a touchdown by Willie Fells as he tripped him on a heel tackle.
Jarius Jackson does not have to be Drew Brees, but he has to have some timely completions. Their defense learning to stop the Purdue Boilermakers for the first time in that opening series. They come back now and get the tight end Holloway. Yeah, this is the third catch of the day for Holloway. I mean, a real nice call by Jim Coletto, well thrown by Jarius Jackson, and a good change of pace. Timely completion.
Jarius to Jabari, and Bob Davie like that. It's first and goal at the 5. A 51-yard play. Holloway tackled from behind, limped a bit as he left the field. First and goal, Notre Dame, trying to pull within 3. Good speed in the backfield along with Denson at tailback. Autry Denson looking for his second touchdown of the game. He's got it! Another big game for senior Autry Denson. 116 yards to move into the number 2 spot all time here at Notre Dame. His second touchdown, and it's set up on the 51-yard pass to the tight end, Jabari Holloway. Jim Sanson's try for point. And Purdue's lead reduced to 24-21.
Great lead block by Lou Pedigo, number 54. Joey Goatspeed, the fullback, clears the way. Autry Denson, second time in the end zone. Bob Davie is happy, and he deserves to be. The Irish only trail by 3.
Jabari Holloway, his ankle being taped. 51-yard reception set up the touchdown by Autry Denson as Notre Dame pulls within 3, 24-21. Kickoff is Shane. Check that Hunter Smith with Lane and Jackson deep for Purdue. With the win, he drills this high into the end zone. Jackson pokes to stay back, and they'll take the touchback. Let's go back to that 51-yard pass.
Yeah, a couple things going on. Autry Denson, great block here on the linebacker, but watch this corner gets put in a bind because there's 2 receivers, one short, one long. He covers the short one, and the tight end, Jabari Holloway, goes right behind it. There's the block there, right up here by Denson. And see the corner's in a bind, wide open. Now remember, Jarius Jackson overthrew that pass earlier in the game, but he is on rhythm, in rhythm right now as a passer.
Well, they said, his teammates, that he's such a high adrenaline player that early in the game maybe he's a little too excited, and the statistics would bear that out. He seems to be a much better player as the game develops. Meanwhile, Purdue, their lead now at 3 with 10:22 left in the third. Drew Brees to Crabtree, and Crabtree out for 5 to the 25. As Purdue unstoppable the first half, but the Irish able to force them to punt here early in the third quarter.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about, Dick, that opening drive in each half really kind of sets the tone. Well, the Notre Dame defense, for the first time, stopped them on that opening drive. They turned it into 7 points. So it was a key defensive stop. Then the defense was challenged at halftime by Greg Madison and by Bob Davie.
2nd and 5, Crabtree again. And he is stopped after a gain of 2, almost 3. They'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Okay, this Purdue offensive line, you know, we talked so much about Drew Brees, but Chucky Okobe in particular, the center, number 56, has really done a very nice job of protecting. There's Chucky.
310 pounds from Hamden, Connecticut. He can squat 700 pounds. He's been lifting since age 13. He said when you're short and no one thinks you can play 6 feet 6'1", he said you have to do other things, and he's got a great spirit. It's a lot like Grant Irons of Notre Dame. Big smile, big spirit. Very bright. The blitz, and it pays off as Brock Williams with a sack. Check that, Anthony Denman, 39, not 38 Williams. Denman, the linebacker, the Buck linebacker, with a big sack, and they've stopped Purdue again.
Right here, number 39. Just like the Michigan game in the second half, they made some great adjustments. They are coming after Drew Brees this second half, and they're challenging the receivers a little bit more. And it's paid off. 2 stops.
So Danny Rogers to punt with Joey Getherall back at the Notre Dame 45. 10 men up front for the Irish. Good protection. Solid kick. Getherall, fair catch, runs into his own man, and a flag down at the 45. They may rule that the Purdue defender interfered.
That was Vinny Sutherland down there, number 14.
It appeared it was more the Notre Dame man that bumped Getherall, but we'll see how the officials sort it out.
There's no foul. No foul. He was blocked into it.
That seems like a good call to us.
Belt, and there will be no foul.
From Bob Davies' angle, he was looking for a penalty, but you can see.
It was.
Close.
Good adjustment there by the official, because Vinny Sutherland, number 14 of Purdue, wasn't anywhere near Getherall.
Davies going to work on the official anyway, because he's looking for the next call. That's part of the game.
That's the way it works, doesn't it? Yeah.
So Notre Dame trailing 24-21, starts from the 45 after a 34-yard punt. Denson, the tailback. Denson. Good play by Adrian Beasley, the safety, to sprint from his spot, cut off the angle, and force a loss. Loss of 2.
There was also a pretty good block by Jabari Holloway, who came back in the game, and we saw him injure his ankle a little bit, but good lead block by Jabari Holloway on the corner.
They're going to spot it at the 44. It'll be 2nd and 11.
I saw a different Irish leprechaun last night at the women's soccer game. I think they have one A and B leprechaun.
Kind of like Chris Kringle. It multiplies as the season grows. Denson on the draw to the 50-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 5. Willie Fells makes another tackle. The Colonel, number 40.
Yeah, I tell you, Purdue, what they need is some more penetration to get to Denson a little bit earlier in the run. I mean, he's getting the ball so deep. Good lead block by 33 Jamie Spencer, the fullback, who's doing his job remarkably well, leading that way. You see him looking at the 62 calls on his wrist. All the defensive linemen have those wristbands as well.
3rd down 5. Jackson, well protected, wide open, Getherall, 1st down at the Purdue 34.
Jarius Jackson growing in confidence. Wonderful protection. Good mechanics as he steps in the pocket. 33 again. Spencer leads up in there. Look at 70. Ritter up there clearing the way. Rosenthal. And then Joey Getherall, the little 5'7", 192 pounds, just making him look like it's a deep route. Remember, he ran a post route and a go route in the first half. That sets up the outcut by Getherall.
16 yards on the play. Getherall's 2nd catch of the season. Notre Dame trailing 24-21 here in the 3rd quarter. Denson on the toss. What a play defensively for Purdue. They had a wave of white there to greet Denson, and led by Mike Hawthorne and Henry Bell, a backup corner, number 27. Bell from Los Angeles. History major, senior from Montclair Prep.
What a sight.
Bird's eye view of Notre Dame Stadium.
What did we say? There's 10 or 15,000 people who sit out in the parking lot and watch the game on television. They can't get in, just kind of barbecue.
They just come down here to be have the ambiance.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of it out there and in here.
2nd down, 16. So Jackson sets up in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. A draw. Quarterback Jackson barrels to the 28-yard line, 4 yards shy of a first down.
Well, they have had success with the draw play. Audrey Denson, this time a different little version of it, the quarterback draw.
Next Saturday, Notre Dame football continues on NBC as the pass-happy Stanford Cardinal battle the Fighting Irish. Audrey Denson and ND look to avenge last year's 33-15 loss to Stanford. It's the Cardinal and the Irish, presented by Champion, next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 on the West Coast here in NBC.
The Cardinal have been throwing the ball for about 100 years, doesn't it?
They do have a lot of liniment on those shoulders and arms, those quarterbacks. 3rd down and 5. Jackson incomplete. Adjustment in the pattern by Malcolm Johnson, and he and the quarterback not on the same page. 4th and 5 as Jackson took a good hit as he threw the ball.
Well, Jackson is one tough guy. We do know that, and we've seen him run the option. But a pretty good blitz. The outside, Lee Johnson, number 35, coming to the outside. And then on the inside, it was Colvin once again. Roosevelt Colvin, who has unique capacity to put pressure on the quarterbacks. Also block field goals.
Here's a long field goal attempt by Sanson that would match his longest in his career, 45 yards. Does have the wind at his back from the hash mark right to tie the game. It is no good. Way out to the right. A chance to draw even. Swings wide right. Purdue maintains its lead, 24-21.
Welcome back to South Bend. That's Drew Brees down on the field. He's 18 for 22, 2 touchdowns throwing, 1 rushing. This is his mom up here in the stands, Mina Brees.
Hi.
Nice to see you. This is very tough for you. You're very nervous, aren't you?
Yes, I'm nervous. I get nervous before every game and during the game, and then after the game I'm exhausted and happy it's over usually.
This is quite an athletic family. You played basketball, track and field. You actually beat Drew in tennis still to this day.
Right.
Your father, Ray Akins, the second winningest high school coach in the history of Texas. Your brother, Marty Akins, an All-American quarterback at Texas. But you say that none of them or Drew is the best athlete. Who is?
Oh, I think maybe Drew's brother, Reed, who's a junior at Westlake High School, is the best all-around athlete in the family.
Now, how much is Marty, who was an All-American quarterback, even though he was in the wishbone, how much has he helped Drew?
I think he's helped Drew a lot in terms of talking about leadership. Marty was a wishbone quarterback, and obviously Drew passes the ball and doesn't run quite as much, but I think Marty has given Drew a lot of instruction on how to run the team and how to act as a leader.
Mina, nice to see you. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Pat, she's a lawyer, so she's already got an agent. Should Drew make it to the pros?
Well, wait till you get the bill, Jim.
Hey, nobody's perfect. Well, what a family. When they talk football, Mina's right there with the best of them. Can you imagine her father winning over 300 high school games and a brother who was an All-America, Texas 3 years. Earl Campbell was a running back.
Remember Joe Tiller was saying that he's the only mother of any of my players I've ever recruited that can actually call me and talk to me about coverages and defenses. And
that's quite a family.
Amazing family, yeah. And, the other thing we haven't seen from Purdue this game is any behind-the-line passes. In last year's game, they threw 14, or they had 14 completions behind the line. We haven't seen the bubble screen yet today.
Now, this is the formation where they throw it with a triple left, but it's a quarterback draw, and Drew Brees slides to the 47-yard line, a gain of about 8. And the Boilermakers, who were stopped in their first 2 possessions of the second half, now have it rolling as they did throughout the entire first 2 quarters.
Yeah, but you see how they spread. There's 3 guys up here, 1 here, very few, only 1 player here, and then they're in the quarterback draw. It's just, as I said, you don't see this much in the Big Ten, and they went 6-2 a year ago in this offensive formation, and they are going to be an offensive powerhouse. Unless they get some really dreadful weather, this offense is going to score a lot of points.
2nd down and 2, same formation, triple left. This time to throw over the middle of the tight end, Stratton, and Stratton has a first down as he wiggles to the 45 of Notre Dame. Johnny Sanders made the stop.
Yeah, this one you think you have everybody covered. Boy, they throw one to the tight end. I believe that's the 2nd catch this afternoon for the tight end, Tim Stratton. Think of wide out. We'll come up and jam those wide receivers. Then, boy, Drew Brees finds his tight end, and one anxious moment and then a happy one for Mom.
He still is, Jim Gray indicated, a top-notch tennis player, and even though he was #1 in the state, 12 and unders, he can't beat Mom. Drew Brees on first down to Crabtree, and J. Crabtree to the 43. Just under 4 left in the third quarter. No, let's make that Dondre Johnson from Kokomo. The redshirt freshman gets his first chance to run the football and picks up maybe a yard.
G. Irons made the tackle for Notre Dame. Grant Irons, number 44, and he's got his own web page. He's an MIS major at Notre Dame. One of the more delightful guys you're gonna meet. This is his web page. I think 3 or 4 players have it. Really an incredible young man as a person, and going to be a great player at Notre Dame.
Son of Gerald Irons, a long 10-year career in the NFL as a linebacker. Brees, look at that patience. And now he's got plenty of running room and dives for a first down at the 34-yard line.
I promise you, in the film room tomorrow, the Purdue team, particularly if they win, are going to laugh about Tim Stratton that time, the tight end.
He didn't know which way to go, did he?
He kind of fell over. He just kind of fell down. But again, the presence, the feel, he's not going to force the ball. There you go. Yard marker got him.
Stratton was an outstanding volleyball player in high school. The spike got him. That invisible spike knocked him down.
Oh, he's going to take some grief tomorrow, I promise.
First down, Purdue at the Irish 34. Here's that bubble screen to Sutherland, and Notre Dame ready for it as Harper and Sanders and Cooper all in on the tackle of Vinnie Sutherland.
Boy, this is the bubble screen they ran so effectively a year ago. And, these guys are going to come down. They're just going to throw the ball to him on a couple of blocks. He had 100 yards in receptions a year ago. But I tell you, really rallying to the ball, Harper. This has been a much different tenor, I think, of the Notre Dame defense this second half. Don't you believe so?
Much more aggressive and tighter on those D-backs on their receivers. 2nd and 8. Purdue 24, Notre Dame 21. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. And to Dondre Johnson, and the freshman gets to the 26-yard line, 2 yards short of a first down. Lamont Bryant and Deke Cooper with the tackle.
We've seen some good calls, good execution by both teams, and it's a punch-counterpunch kind of game. Notre Dame had that safety blitz on. Great time to call the draw, and Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, did just that in a nice little game.
3rd down and 2 for Purdue. They bring in the 4 wide, take out the running back, triple left, with Isaac Jones, the leading receiver, out to the right. Blitz, and it is caught. And it'll be close to a first down. May have gotten just enough. It's Tim Stratton on his toes for that catch.
Yeah, a nice adjustment. I mean, so often Drew Brees is throwing the ball on the numbers, and guys haven't had to adjust. This time, Tim Stratton, the tight end, shoot tap catch there. I mean, a nice adjustment that time by Stratton. Kind of come alive here in the second half, but boy, they throw it to a lot of different people. Man, 11 different players caught passes coming into today's ball game, and they've really spread it around today.
They needed 2. They got 2.5. Brees on top. Incomplete, intended for Gabe Cox. Cox has had a touchdown catch in each of the first 3 Purdue games.
That one looked like it should have been. He had made 2. Gabe Cox, the last 2 games, 2 remarkable catches for touchdowns against Rice and Central Florida. That was the easiest of the 3. But I tell you, Deveron Harper, number 10, finally made a play with the balls in the air, Dick. We've been talking about that as we watch tapes.
There he turned and got his hand
in there. They covered receivers well. He's upset. But they haven't rallied. But Deveron Harper's had a very strong second half for the Irish.
Harper from good genes. His brother Dwayne, of course, a longtime NFL quarterback, Seattle and San Diego. 2nd and 10, shotgun. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. As Anthony Weaver, the true freshman from Saratoga Springs, New York, 6'3", defensive end, makes the swat down.
Yeah, he got some help from Lamont Bryant, number 53 as well. See,
Bryant.
Yeah, that is really hard when you're a defensive lineman and you're getting shot blocked while you're trying to get those hands up. But Lamont Bryant, 6'3" of them, got the hands up and knocked it down. And Bob Davie thought they could tip a bunch of passes and maybe get a few interceptions.
3rd and 10. Big call here at the 22-yard line of Notre Dame for Drew Brees.
Can't take a sack.
Blitz. He eludes it. Tony Driver couldn't get him. Now to the end zone. Jones incomplete. Whoa! Isaac Jones takes a terrible spill as he hits that concrete, but appears to be okay.
Boy, into part of the All-American band of Purdue. It's the junior All-American band because they don't have too many of their members here today. But you know what you like about Drew Brees? First of all, he avoids the sack. A lot of, this should have been a 15-yard loss, Dick.
Tony Driver.
Yeah, and then watch how he gets his shoulders turned as he rolls to his left. And this is how he can get some, he cocks himself and he can actually get some steam on the ball as he rolls to his left.
40-yard field goal attempt. Travis Dorsch into the wind. Would be his longest. As a freshman. Hits it well. It is good. The 6'6" freshman kicker Dorsch gives Purdue a 6-point lead, 27-21.
After watching Drew Brees, I know they don't play Ohio State and Michigan. And you can say that about this guy. I'm not sure Ohio State and Michigan want to face him. All 6'6" of Travis Dorsch. Got some height on that one.
He's an outstanding baseball player as well. His dad is a Major League Baseball scout for the Kansas City Royals, and Joe Taylor was a little upset with him that he played baseball all the summer and didn't get in the weight room, and felt that he wasn't the kicker that he had drafted because he, what credentials? 63-yarder last year in high school.
How many kickers do you know spend much weight time in the weight room?
I'd be worried. I'd be a little worried if they were there too long.
I don't think I've ever seen a kicker in a weight room.
That'd be like a sportscaster in there. Thank goodness. 27-21 Purdue.
What a game. Boy.
Final minute of this third quarter.
One thing about this Notre Dame team, they don't quit. Even at the end of that Michigan State game when they were getting blown out, and Bob Davie was talking to us yesterday about this, they never stopped playing hard. They got blown out. They played with enthusiasm the whole way through.
Shane Ryan, the kicker, number 13, marked down to 12 for today's game.
What happened? How's that happen?
I don't know. Just to mess us up. Darcy Levy, the deep man, and for deep now he moves up to the 15-yard line because the strategy for Purdue has been not to kick long for most of this game. And the Irish felt they had some good kick return set up for the Boilermakers. See if he goes for the distance this time. Yes. Levy at the 5. Drop shy of the 20 at the 18-yard line. Good coverage by the special teams for Purdue, led by Jason Lorzell. Whenever the Goodyear blimp is hovering above a game with its camera focused on an event, you know you're going to get a unique view. Overhead today, the Goodyear blimp Spirit of Akron, all the way from Suffield, Ohio, to be over today's game. Ever been up in
No, I have not. No, I can't say that. And you?
Just once. And fortunately for me, the invitation came in Paris, France, to go over that great city in a blimp. It's quite an experience.
It's Notre Dame there. It's Notre Dame here.
There you go. Almost pulled Boilermakers offside, but they Spawn, Denson, outside, inside. Oh, he was one more move away from a big gain, but Adrian Beasley held his ground and made the tackle.
Yeah, you mentioned Beasley a couple of times. A sure tackler in that strong safety position. He is number 7. And you're right. If he didn't grab him by the left leg, he's got another 15, 20 yards easily.
Announcement and a roar. The home run race is now not tied, and we'll give you that information as we return. I know that's a rotten tease. Mark McGuire is hit number 67, and we'll show that to you after we break for commercials at the end of three quarters. McGuire 67, Sosa 66. Here, however, 27-21. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Thank you for that report. I want to add a comment to that. Is Notre Dame trailing 27-21 has 2nd and 5. Denson hit hard at the 28, close to a first down. I just have found not only the season delightful and the excitement, the drama of the home run race, but the way these two men, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire, have handled themselves and the respect that they've shown to the fans who love baseball and to the game itself has drawn my total admiration. I couldn't say any more positive things than to just, thank them for representing baseball. It's what the sport has needed desperately, and they've done it extraordinarily well.
Well, all athletes, professional and amateur alike, can learn a lesson from the way these guys have handled it.
Third down and less than a yard for Jackson. He gives to Denman, and Denman behind that big left side of Pettigrew and Wisney, able to plow for the first down at the 30.
I'll tell you, Notre Dame now has nearly 300 yards in total offense, and Purdue has had a real cram course. When you think about the different types of offenses, in the first week they played against the pro set. Then Rice ran a wishbone for over 400 yards.
That'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, Central Florida with their outstanding quarterback ran that spread offense, threw for over 300 yards, and now it's kind of the muscle offense you're seeing today with Audrey Denson. So, boy, Brock Spack, the defensive coordinator, has had his hands full in 4 straight weeks.
First down, Notre Dame trailing by 6, 27-21. A minute into the fourth quarter. Jarius Jackson. Complete to Malcolm Johnson, and Johnson tackled at the 37-yard line. Lamar Kennard, a junior from Elkhart nearby, makes the stop.
This is such a different Jarius Jackson than we have seen in the first half of ball games. Play action fake, gives him plenty of time because Audrey Denson has run so well. One of the things, and there's the route by Malcolm Johnson. One of the things Bob Davies said, hey, we made Jarius Jackson practice this week with a mouthpiece. He said, during the week he has it and he gets in the game, maybe he gets too tight, but we made him practice with a mouthpiece this week.
Second down, a long 3 to Denson. Boy, look at him adjust. And to the 40, where it'll be close to a first down. Billy Gustin led the defensive charge from his safety spot. And it appears, depending on the mark, that he has another first down. Well, now they're going to put it back. Well, now they motion first down right at the 40.
Well, Audrey Denson has really carried a load. And at some points, you're going to have to give him some breaks. Jarius Jackson has had some real success with quarterback draws. They do it with a straight draw. Sometimes it's a quarterback trap. They take the advantage of his strong legs and running efforts as well.
13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Purdue 27, Notre Dame 21. First down at the 40. Jackson's going to use a timeout.
Well, if they had a 6-point game, you hate to burn one this early in the fourth quarter.
But he had a couple of new substitutes, and perhaps the play call changed for him. We'll be right back. Notre Dame Stadium. Welcome back. The 70th meeting between Notre Dame and Purdue. 54th consecutive year they've met since the end of World War II. These two rivals about a 2-hour drive apart. The campuses at South Bend and West Lafayette, Indiana. On first down, Jackson batted in the air and complete.
Well, we made that drive. It's exactly 2 hours, and there's a lot of corn between here and West Lafayette.
Yeah, for a city boy, you wonder what all that was, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of it out there. I don't know how these Notre Dame guys get to be 300 pounds.
That's the other kind of corn. This is that late field corn for the animals.
Thanks for correcting me on that. Showing my ignorance again, aren't I? Look at these guys.
Well, there's a corn fed, huh?
Yeah, 306, and 88 was a championship year, and 265 then. This is a very large offensive line, kind of wearing down Purdue right now.
Second down and 10. Denson. Straight arm, but he can't elude the stop of Lamar Kennard, who got help. And Denson, just as it appeared he might be able to spring free, stopped for a 2-yard gain.
And one of the adjustments Purdue has made, Dick, is really get those defensive backs up a little closer to the line of scrimmage. Top of the screen, you see Billy Gustin coming in, and Kennard is a kind of a corner type. So they're getting more players up to the line of scrimmage to try to slow down Audrey Denson.
Kennard using the jersey tackle and waiting for help, and Mike Rose with the assist. It's 3rd and 8. Getherall, speedster in motion. He eludes the blitz, but he's bumped out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, back at the 41-yard line, that'll be a sack for Willie Fells.
Willie Fells, the middle linebacker for Purdue, has had a pretty good ball game. You mentioned 131 tackles a year ago, 3rd in the Big Ten. He is number 40. But good inside push and squeeze from the answer. There he is. Misses him on the first shot at him.
Well, check that. It's Rose. It's Rose. Yep. Number 4 that makes the play. He former safety, right fielder on Purdue's baseball team, drafted by Tampa Bay's Devil Rays a couple of years ago. He made the hit there that forces Notre Dame into punt formation. Hunter Smith with Cliff Jackson back. Drives it through the wind. What a kick. But it goes into the end zone, and the net won't be quite so attractive. It'll be first down Purdue, leading by 6 at the 20 when we return. Notre Dame Stadium on a gusty, hot, late September afternoon. You can see the Old Glory whipping right to left, although with the swirling winds in this stadium down on the field, difficult to read. When Gray was reporting, it felt like the wind was going left to right on the field. Batted down, and another deflection, and this one by Joe Ferrer, number 41.
One of Purdue's goals coming into this season was really having some balance, and one of Notre Dame's goals was getting their hands up and knocking the ball down. Ferrer, number 41, got his hand on one. Grant Irons has got a couple. And what you really hope is when you get that tip ball, it goes straight up in the air and you get that interception. Because, again, Notre Dame still does not have an interception this year.
2nd and 10.
And there's the balance we were talking about. But Purdue.
Deke Cooper moves up on the line but does not blitz, and hand off to Dondre Johnson, and the freshman across the 25-yard line. Don't know what's happened to Jay Crabtree, but we've not seen him the last couple of series as Dondre Johnson, the freshman, getting the call at running back. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and with 11:45 remaining in the game, and Purdue up by 6 points, this becomes one of those very important 3rd downs for Notre Dame's defense.
4 wides, 2 right, 2 left. Johnson stays in the backfield. Brees to throw. Scrambles. First down to the 32-yard line, and this young man continues to impress.
He is so clever, and he just is not forcing the ball. Again, nothing there, but really wonderful protection by this Purdue offensive line to begin with. The cut blocks. He's not going to turn the ball over. He just got to get himself down a little bit quicker, doesn't he, Dick?
That's right. He took a pretty good hit that time. First down just across the 31 with 11 minutes left in the 4th. Purdue leads by 6. Jackson, and the freshman into the clear. Kicks his way into Notre Dame territory at the 49. 19 yards for Dondre Johnson. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry in the first 3 games.
Well, Crabtree had 118 yards a week ago, and Johnson added 75, so it's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Some fresh legs here in the 4th quarter with Johnson. Again, he's a powerful runner, too, at almost 215 pounds.
35 yards and 5 carries for Johnson. He gets the ball again. And met at the corner, the tackle from Johnny Sanders. Sanders, a senior from Houston, recovering from an ankle injury that has slowed him down.
It's amazing that Purdue is on the line of scrimmage so fast when they're trying to, you got a 6-point lead, 10:30 left. You're trying to use as much of the clock as you can. But
they don't want that defense to set. 2nd and 11 out of the shotgun. Brees now scrambles. Keeps. And pays the price at the 42-yard line as Irons and Friday pinch him hard, and he comes up a little woozy.
I'd like to see her mother after that shot. I'm sure she was cringing a little bit. I mean, this is one of the risks for this Boilermaker team this year is the health of Drew Brees.
But the awareness, again, you pointed out, Pat Hayden, you saw even as he sprinted to the right, he looked back behind us. He knew where everyone on the field was.
Great field.
3rd down and 3. And the throw complete to Isaac Jones, and a first down inside the Irish 35.
Drew Brees has great confidence in Isaac Jones, because Isaac Jones is one of those receivers you can count on. He's dependable. You always know where he's going to be. And Drew Brees kind of peeking over the defensive line there. And Isaac Jones, 6'0". He's number 6 here as well. But again, the ball thrown a little bit behind, but a perfect throw by Drew Brees.
Jones, who leads all receivers with 6 catches today. Purdue on the march with a 27-21 advantage. Back back at Notre Dame Stadium with 9 minutes and 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Purdue on the march, a first down at the Irish 34, leading 27-21. Drew Brees, a very impressive sophomore. Back to pass again. Chased out of the pocket by Weaver. Throws incomplete. Too tall for Randall Lane.
But Anthony Weaver, I think it was number 98 on the inside, putting the pressure on Drew Brees. Anthony Weaver, a freshman, just a year ago, was playing against high schools like Burnt Hills. Now he's out here playing against Big Ten competition.
Weaver, who has distinguished himself as being the first true freshman to start on that defensive line since Ross Browner 25 years ago.
Gonna be a good player.
2nd and 10. Brees under pressure, down. The sack at the 42 as Tony Driver up the middle, the safety man.
With some help from Joe Farrar.
Driver has put together a couple of good games back to back.
Yeah, good change of pace here again. In the first half they had the outside rushes. They really weren't getting to Drew Brees. They've changed it up a little bit with some inside blitzes. You get to the quarterback a little bit quicker, and they put some more pressure on Drew Brees in the second half. They're really taking him out of field goal range. If I were Purdue, I'm thinking about getting myself in field goal situation with this call, making a 2-score game.
3rd and 17, just outside the 40. Brees wide open as Randall Lane. Oh, what a hit! Johnny Sanders with a textbook tackle.
Woo. That hurt. That hurt. But Purdue, and again, Drew Brees did the right thing. Don't force the ball. Give your team a chance to kick a field goal, go up by 9.
Gained 11 on the play, and now the field goal try. It will be 47 yards for young Travis Dorsch. It's long enough. It is good. Dorsch delivers, and Purdue leads by 9.
Boy, that was a heck of a kick, because that ball got set very, very late, and a critical play, making a 9-point ball game.
The long, lanky, 6'6" freshman from Bozeman, Montana, sends Purdue into a 30-21 lead.
Okay, a terrific hold by Danny Rogers, number 26. He's the punter. The ball was a little bit inside, gets the laces away. So much goes into a successful field goal. The snap, the hold, and then when you do things successfully, you get a little emotion like this.
Nice to see the freshman. 47 yards. That's only 4 yards shy of the Purdue record, 51. Larry Sullivan against Minnesota in 89, and James Reichert against Notre Dame 47 years ago.
Incredible how you have these statistics in the tip of your tongue.
It's important. Travis Dorsch up there in Bozeman. Of course, that's good recruiting territory for Joe Tiller, because he went to Montana State up in that part of the world.
And again, it makes it a two-score game for Notre Dame. They only have 1 timeout remaining.
They burned 2 in this half. Tony Driver back. 7 minutes, 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Kick to the sidelines. Driver lets it go through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback at the 20-yard line. Next Saturday, NBC Sports presents the 1998 Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony, and it features the induction of one of Indiana's favorites, Larry Bird. The 1998 Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, 3 Pacific on NBC. Of course, next Saturday also Notre Dame and Stanford.
I think we drove through French Lick on the way here.
No, that's down south of Bloomington.
I'm sorry.
Every city. It was interesting. You wanted so much to see French Lick in every city you thought.
I really did. I want to see that hoop with no net on it,
Well, this basketball offense on grass, football grass of Purdue has been exciting today. And now Autry Denson for the Irish. 7 more to add to his total before Willie Fells picks up another tackle for Purdue.
They got to get in and out of the huddle. Notre Dame does. 7:30 remaining in this ball game. Down 2 scores in and out of the huddle.
2nd down, 3 for the Irish of Bob Davie. Davie and Tiller both starting their head coaching careers at Purdue and Notre Dame at the same time, just days apart. They were hired last year. Jackson play action on 2nd and 3, has a man open. Holloway, but overshoots him as Lamar Kennard reacting quickly to cover. Same play that gained 51 in the first half.
Purdue has not won here since 1974. They have a 9-point lead, and one of those important downs, 3rd and 4 for the Irish.
You think about 1974. That was before any of the players on the field for Purdue were born.
Please don't tell me that. Yeah.
3rd down and 3. Another play action throw to Malcolm Johnson. Complete, 1st down at the 35. Stops the clock. He hurries back to the huddle. Kennard, another tackle.
That might be the best throw I've seen Jarius Jackson make. I mean, he got back. He was very decisive. Got rid of the ball quickly. Fired it. And again, right on the number of Malcolm Johnson.
Boy, that was a good-looking throw.
Yeah. Boy, and like I said, he just has to be timely. He doesn't have to throw for 300 yards, but he has to hit a couple of big passes a game. That was one of them.
6:50 left in the 4th. Purdue 30, Notre Dame 21. Purdue shows blitz there as Jay Johnson goes in motion. Rakai Nelson was injured earlier in the game. Autry Denson just couldn't get outside. Beasley makes another big play.
Big adjustment by Purdue defense in the second half. You've mentioned Beasley's name a lot this second half. They are really pulling him up to the line of scrimmage to make the play on Autry Denson. And a lot of those defensive backs have been involved in tackles with Autry Denson close to the line of scrimmage.
Beasley has good feelings about playing Notre Dame. A year ago, this junior from Atlanta returned a fumble, 43 yards for a touchdown against the Irish in the win at Purdue. 2nd and 12. Draw, Denson runs right up the back of his blockers at the 35-yard line. So just back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 as Rocco Foggio makes the stop.
And I think what Bob Davie has to think about with 5:45 remaining in the game is you're going to have 2 downs to gain these 10 yards. Because I believe the way Purdue's offense plays, I don't think you can punt the ball to him, Dick. I think you need to find a way to gain 10 yards, and you have 3rd and 4th down to do it.
3rd and officially 9, but it's almost the full 10 yards. Shotgun, Jarius Jackson. Senior from Tupelo, Mississippi to throw. Fires complete to Johnson. And Johnson to the 49 and a 1st down. Kennard, another stop. Irish move the chains.
So if I'm Purdue, I'm going to start jamming Malcolm Johnson at the line of scrimmage. Good early protection, good lead block by Spencer. And it's a way to step up into throw. He completed the throw. That's why he's not throwing it high. He's finishing the throw. Again, perfectly executed by Malcolm Johnson.
4th catch for the rangy Johnson, 6'5", out of Washington, D.C. Mother's a pediatrician. Dad works in basketball at the University of Maryland. Wide open to Johnson again. That's his 5th catch. Another 1st down.
Entirely different Jarius Jackson in this second half. Really from the mid-second quarter, he started to throw the ball with a little more action. He started high, throwing the ball high again, but he has really calmed down and thrown the ball well.
We saw Johnson give the signal that the other Johnson comes in. Jay Johnson.
1st and 10, Irish at the Purdue 37.
1st down at the Purdue 37 with 4:50 left in the 4th quarter. Jackson throwing for Getterall and well covered by Henry Bell, number 27.
Well, Jackson having his best day as a thrower thus far this year. 11 of 21 now, 167 yards and a touchdown. As this season wears on, they're going to have him be productive like that. See his second half numbers, 111 yards. And you would think once they start doing that, you can pop Andre Denson through a little bit more. But those safeties of Purdue have been able to get up there when Denson's gotten the ball in those draw plays, but still be able to cover deep when they throw the ball downfield.
Well, the Irish know they need to get at least a field goal out of this drive with the clock working against them. 4:46 left in the fourth. One of the rare options today. Jackson pays the price. Willie Fells and G.K. O'Keefer collaborate on the tackle.
So Willie Fells said to us this week is that when Notre Dame runs the option, they rarely pitch the ball. And so number 40, Willie Fells, when he sees Jarius Jackson come down that line of scrimmage, he's thinking quarterback all the way.
Boy, he set himself in good hitting position, didn't he?
Absolutely. Really, we had 131 tackles a year ago.
Third down, 5 for the Irish at the Purdue 33. Jackson out of the shotgun. Steps up. Incomplete. Good coverage by Purdue as that ball thrown right to Henry Bell's reach, and he's able to knock it away. G.K. O'Keefer applying pressure forced Jackson to adjust his throw. So now a must 4th and 5 for Notre Dame. They have but one timeout left, remember.
Well, and he's got to tell all his receivers, make sure you at least run past the stakes. You have no sense catching this ball 2 yards short of the first down.
Be a 50-yard field goal, so Bob Davie has to wave that thought away. He needs 5+. Johnson, the favorite target, is on the bottom of your screen. Jackson. Complete to Jay Johnson. His first catch of the season. First down, Notre Dame. Henry Bell made the tackle at the Purdue 17.
Well, both of these quarterbacks today have been really good on the clutch, in the clutch. Again, a 4th down completion that Jarius Jackson needs. Was looking first for Malcolm Johnson. He was double, didn't force it. Bought himself a little bit more time. And then delivers a very good throw to Johnson over there on the left sideline.
I like that call, in the clutch and on the clutch, because when you put on the clutch, you keep going, you don't break. That was very good. First down at the 17. Jarius Jackson to the end zone. Touchdown, Holloway, his second of the game.
Whether Notre Dame wins or not, they really play hard all the game.
17 yards. The touchdown from Jarius Jackson to Jabari Holloway, the sophomore, with a couple of touchdowns this afternoon. And just as it was in the first half, as Stanton adds the extra point to make it 30-27, it took a 4th down completion to keep the drive alive. Jackson, boy, did he throw the ball well on that drive. A perfect strike as they threaded that one through the defense. Holloway with a score, 30-27, 28.
Well, this is a major league throw by Jarius Jackson. The man circled as his tight end, Jabari Holloway. I mean, this is a tight throw, as you mentioned, Dick. And it takes a lot of steam on that ball. Threw it over the linebacker, but with enough steam to get it in front of the safeties. A really good throw and a nice catch there by Holloway.
80-yard must drive. 12 plays for the touchdown. 17 yards to Holloway to make it 30-28. And with 3:36 left, now it's up to Purdue and young Drew Brees. Hold on to the football, perhaps score themselves.
Watch the onside kick, though. I mean, I think this is a real tough call for Bob Davie. You know, ordinarily with 3:36, you kick the ball away. But their defense hasn't had a lot of success against Drew Brees. So they're going to try the onside kick. Statistically, teams recover onside kicks less than 10% of the time. So if he does try the onside kick, the odds are against you, clearly.
Purdue with 10 men up within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Leave one man back, Cliff Jackson. And we'll see whether or not indeed they do onside it, or whether with this formation just kick it deep and hope the defense can hold. Sanson with check that Hunter Smith with a long run up.
Remember, Notre Dame only gets one timeout too, Dick.
Boy, that 45-yard field goal missed by Sanson plays big now, doesn't it? Kicks it deep. Well, the wind caught that. Jackson.
That's not a bad play right there.
22-yard line. Didn't want to risk a fumble. Stayed in bounds. 3:25. Of course, the clock stops there on the change of possession, but he did not take any foolish chances.
Interesting what Joe Tiller does here. You know, you say you live by the pass, you die by the pass. That old adage, I guess. But you know, here's a situation: you're up by 2 points, trying to run it out. I mean, do you still allow Drew Brees to throw the ball as he has so well up to this point?
Well, that's the major argument against the run and shoot for so many years in the NFL was the fact that when you get down to this situation, you can't run out the clock because you're a pass offense. Let's see what happens with Tiller's Boilermakers. 3 wide receivers. Jay Crabtree returns as the running back. And it's Crabtree. Great hit by the cornerback, Devron Harper. Harper at only 187 just straightened up Crabtree. Wouldn't allow him forward progress.
Devron Harper has had a great second half. Not a good second half, a great second half. He has made an awful lot of plays. There he is, number 10. He just fights off the block of the wide receiver, Isaac Jones, to make the play.
No gain, 2nd and 10. 2:50, 2:49. Clock running. Notre Dame's defense not that successful this year in stopping the opposition. Now must give the offense the ball. 30-28 Purdue. What a game today in South Bend as the handoff to Crabtree, and he's stopped. No gain again. Lamont Bryant led the charge, the senior from Georgetown, South Carolina.
Well, now you have to give Drew Brees a chance. I mean, they tried to run as much time as they could with the 2 runs, but now you give this guy who has been so remarkable today the chance at 3rd and 10. And Notre Dame, this second half has changed it up, and they've come up with some inside pressure and put a lot of heat on Drew Brees this second half.
Didn't get it off. He did not get it off in time. That'll be a 5-yard delay of game. It was hard to hear the whistle because of the crowd noise. So it'll be 3rd and 15, making the task all the more challenging for young Drew Brees.
Delay of game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Well, you know, you measure young quarterbacks in a lot of ways. This is his first year as a starter. But this play, this kind of situation is a real test for this first-year starter who's passed every other test thus far.
All right, and take us into his helmet here. It's not just you get the 15 yards, but don't do anything foolish here.
Yeah, don't take a sack, and even worse than that, don't throw the ball late down the middle.
3rd and 15.
Officials calling timeout again. Already.
Going to work from the shotgun. Time remaining 1:53. Notre Dame with just 1 timeout left. Keeps the tight end in. 4 wides. Favorite receiver Jones in motion. Throws down the middle. Intercepted. Tony Driver at the 30, the 25, the 10, to the 5. Oh, my. Have played nearly 3 full games without an interception until this one.
And Dick, we just said you don't throw the ball late down the middle. He was trying to hit Randall Lane. It was a late throw, even though it was a rollout. You throw those high down the middle, they're going to lead to interceptions.
And Driver with the Irish's first interception of the season returns at 37 yards. to the 5-yard line. First and goal, Notre Dame. 1 minute, 39 seconds remain. A field goal would win it for the Irish. 30-28 Purdue. Denson is the man in this situation, the tailback. He has 2 touchdowns today. It is Denson. Stopped after a gain of 2. There's Willie Fells again down at the bottom of the pile, and timeout signaled by Coach Joe Tiller on the Purdue sidelines.
Well, the one thing Joe Tiller knows, even if Notre Dame scores, you have a chance with Drew Brees. You have a chance to come back.
They have 2 timeouts left, Purdue.
2 timeouts remaining. That's exactly right. You know, they could score a touchdown. The worst thing really for Notre Dame is score a touchdown too quickly.
They have a timeout. Purdue's lead 30-28. Back after these words from your local station. Welcome back to Notre Dame. An exciting Saturday afternoon of football here at Notre Dame Stadium, with Purdue leading throughout. Notre Dame pulling to within 2 here late in the game, and a Tony Driver interception and return to the 5-yard line has positioned Bob Davies' team 3 yards now away from a potential winning touchdown. 1 minute 31 seconds remain. Second down and goal. McNair, a freshman, in motion. Denson. Stopped at the 1.
They should use a timeout. Purdue has 2 timeouts remaining.
And they do, apparently. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1 with 1:22 left. Each team now with 1 timeout. Jim Sanson, the kicker, won a game a couple of years ago as a freshman, beat Texas. His time expired 27-24, but he's also had, as most kickers do, some long days, including his failures against USC a year ago.
He missed 3 field goals, but it was 4 of 4 coming into today's ball game. We missed that one long one, but remember too, Purdue has got a pretty good field goal blocker in Roosevelt Colvin, who's blocked 3 in his career. So
2 last week.
Yeah, Bob Davie is thinking touchdown. I mean, you really would like a touchdown.
Let's go back to the 3rd and 15 call by Purdue, and Drew Brees as he fires down the middle.
And, you know, the man who intercepted had kind of a tough week himself. Tony Driver left the team for just a day. He's got a little down after the Michigan State game, came back and makes the biggest play of the day for the Irish.
And their first interception of the entire season. It's now 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line.
What would Mike Holmgren do here?
That's right. Some said that wasn't the right way to go in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But, you know, as you stop them on each thrust and clock eats away against you, then you have no chance.
Yeah, again, remember, if Notre Dame scores, they'll probably go for 2 to make it a 36-30 ball game. But still, Drew Brees is going to have some time.
He's going to have probably at least a minute. Denson looking for the hat trick. Has 2 touchdowns rushing in this game. He's at the goal line, and he's turned around. He had his back at the goal line and was unable to dive it forward, to stretch the ball forward. And Purdue, with a terrific goal line stand,
play,
brings up 4th and goal.
Boy, Jim Sanson was sure hoping to win it again. Watch the defensive surge. Beasley off the corner, number 7. And it's
Billy Justin.
Yeah, and Kiefer, number 54. And then the safeties again, right at the end. And Colvin, I think, was 59.
And that's the man to watch now. Roosevelt Colvin, the 6'3", 248-pound senior defensive end, number 59. He has blocked 3 field goals in his career, 2 last week against Central Florida. He's lightning quick off the corner. And in some ways, with that ball down that close, this is shorter than an extra point from a slight angle. Not an easy, for a short kick, it is not an easy one considering the pressure of the moment.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jim Sanson was hoping that ball, Audrey Denson got in for the touchdown, I promise you. And you can see the concern in his face.
Hunter Smith thinking about, I got to catch that ball and spot it properly.
And Joe Tiller saying if we can get Roosevelt Colvin, number 59, in that gap, give him one more opportunity. Some guys, Dick, just have a knack for blocking field goals. And he seems to be one of those.
And then looking ahead with exactly a minute left. All timeouts have been spent now by Purdue. And the Boilermakers have done one thing by this goal line stand. Even if Sanson is accurate on his field goal to make it 31-30, it shortens the field for Purdue because they need then only to drive into field goal range to win it themselves. That's thinking considerably ahead.
Big stop.
So on comes the junior Jim Sanson from Scottsdale, Arizona. 4 for 4 entering today. His one field goal attempt from 45 unsuccessful. This one is as short as you can get. 17 yards. It is gone. Drives it through. Good penetration by Purdue.
This game's a long way from being over, though. It's time to celebrate for the Irish, but you can't celebrate too much. Drew Brees has 57 seconds remaining. Clutch snap, clutch hold, clutch kick by Sanson. Hey, Hunter Smith, I have been impressed with his holding all season long. Kind of a wobbly snap, gets it down, laces away. Worst job in football being the holder.
You can only be wrong. So Sanson delivers the field goal from 17, and it's a 31-30 game.
This looked like it was nearly blocked. Come on. Give that one saved to Hunter Smith, the holder. Now, Purdue is hoping for a very nice return past the 25 or 30-yard line.
And a reminder that Travis Dorsch, who has already kicked one from 47 yards, he's shown us he has the leg, and although the wind has died considerably since earlier in this afternoon, it would appear that it is at his back. It's up to this man, Drew Brees, to get his team in field goal range with 57 seconds left and no timeouts for Purdue.
What a game. What a game. My goodness.
Well, we knew. We just came in knowing this was
unbelievable.
I felt it would take 20 for the losing team, but it'd take 30 points at least.
Man, oh man.
Hits it short. One hop nicely by one of the men. And a good return. All the way out across the 40-yard line by Eric Haddad, a running back. Haddad, who sees his first chance today and takes full advantage. Today's Chevrolet players of the game are Drew Brees of Purdue, Audrey Denson, Notre Dame. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet makes a contribution to the National Association of Student Financial and Aid Administrators for disbursement to deserving college students so they may continue their education. The Chevrolet Scholarship Program has been a tradition for more than a quarter of a century.
And Drew Brees needs about 30-35 yards to give his kicker a legitimate shot.
From the 44. 51 seconds remain. He throws, has a man open. Incomplete to Gabe Cox.
That was dropped, wasn't it? It looked like Gabe Cox should have caught that ball. My goodness. That would have put him in just about field goal range. Oh, yeah, that ball has to be caught.
The presence of Tony Driver may have been a distraction.
Yeah, it always is for a receiver, but boy, in these kind of situations, Brees did everything he could.
2nd and 10 from the 44 of Purdue with 46 seconds left.
27 yards away from a 47-yard field goal attempt.
Which young Travis Dorsch has hit already today. Fires incomplete, intercepted on the deflection. Driver again. Driver takes it out of bounds, and that apparently will sew it up for Notre Dame.
That's why they call them the Fighting Irish. These guys just do not quit. I mean, really improbable wins. When these games started, this game and the Michigan game, you would have said, how could they possibly win the ball games? But boy, I tell you, Tony Driver makes 2 big plays at the end of the game. Drew Brees trying to make something happen for his team. Good coverage there by Brock Williams, number 38. He really set that interception up, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of sophomores, Williams and Driver, pairing up to create that interception. And As you said earlier in one of our commercial breaks, if they win this game, what improbable wins against Michigan and Purdue. It just seemed that throughout the entire game, the visitors from the Big Ten were going to win, and Notre Dame has found a way. Just a kneel down now and 28 seconds, and that'll do it for Bob Davies' Irish to go 2-1.
I don't think they even need to snap it. Game's over.
Drew Brees, brilliant to the final minutes of the game. A couple of interceptions. The second certainly not his fault. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have prevailed here at home again, as Purdue unable to leave South Bend with a win. That's been the case since 1974. They were ever so close today. 31-30. The final. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Tony Driver, the first couple of interceptions by Notre Dame today. It looked like a desperate hour. Describe the play in which you intercepted the pass and took it back down to the 5.
I was playing my zone. The pass was a little high. The receiver tapped it up a little bit. I was able to get up under the ball. Our cornerbacks was right on the ball. Just had to make the play.
Brees basically had his way all day long up until those 2 plays. What changed all of a sudden?
I guess they had to make something happen on that last one. I guess he got kind of wild with the ball. I don't know what happened, but he had a great game. Purdue had a great game. I'm glad we came off with the win.
You guys are the new comeback kids, huh?
Something like that.
All right, back upstairs to you, Dick.
Once again, the final score from Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish 31, the Boilermakers 30. Next Saturday, Notre Dame football on NBC continues. Stanford Cardinal take on the Fighting Irish, 2:30 Eastern. And then Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, Major League Baseball returns to NBC. With the American League Division Series, the New York Yankees will play either the Indians or the Rangers. Tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, an NBC special, Death-Defying Thrills, followed by the Bad Boys of Saturday Night Live. For Pat Hayden and Jim Gray, this is Dick Enberg. So long from South Bend, Indiana, where the Irish have beaten the Boilermakers 31-30.